Center.
I'm Ed Bengen. We start with news from the NBA. Coaching news in Chicago, according to ESPN Shams Charania. Bulls are finalizing a deal for Thiago Splitter to take over as the team's new head coach. Splitter was the head coach in Portland this past season. Also, according to Shams Charania, Darren Peterson is making a pre-draft visit with the Wizards, but is not planning to visit any other teams. The Knicks are still savoring their first NBA championship since 1973. As for the Spurs, the team they defeated, ESPN's Jay Williams talked about Victor Wembanyama's actions after the end of the finals.
I think there was a lot of pettiness. I think words like arrogance come up. I think being a sore loser comes up. And that's a sign of somebody who's 22 years old.
Meanwhile, New York will hold a championship parade for the Knicks on Thursday. At the World Cup, a shocker as Spain settles for a scoreless draw with Cape Verde. At halftime in Seattle, Egypt leads Belgium 1-0. Later, it'll be Saudi Arabia and Uruguay. And at 9 Eastern in Southern California, Iran plays New Zealand. College World Series on ESPN, bottom of the seventh, Texas leads Alabama 7-1.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Tuesday, as the New York Knicks celebrate their first title in 53 years, I'll tell you if other teams can copy their recipe for success. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Townplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. My goodness, we have got a ton to do today. More Brendan Sorsby lunacy. We got Ari Temkin joining us. Jeff Watson in about 15 minutes. Talk all the legalese there. Jason Ratcliffe from Omaha talking about LSU's baseball portal class. Tiger football picked up a command. I told you. We got a lot to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
On Monday, we got another illustration very clearly of how Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock are building this roster at LSU. The headline earlier today, as we wrote at LouisianaSports.net, is that three-star offensive lineman Amaziah Siale has flipped his commitment from Cal to LSU, becoming the first offensive line commitment for the class of 2027. Yep, it's the headline. It says it right there. LSU flips Cal offensive line commit, Amaziah Siale. So I know whenever we look at this, and by the way, Siale is the first offensive line commit for LSU's 2027 class. I'm going to talk about his bio and what it means and all this sort of stuff. But the thing that's going to stand out is that he's a three-star. He's ranked nationally in the Rivals Industry ranking composite, number 599. That's regardless of position. Number 599, the 50th best offensive tackle. 6'6", 365, big dude, and you got him from Cal. When we think about the offensive lineman LSU has been recruiting in this class, we think about Mark Matthews, who was a five-star from Lauderdale, who picked Texas A&M. We talk about Simeon from Albert Simeon from Southwest Louisiana. There, Sam Houston, who looks like he's a heavy Texas A&M lean as well. LSU has either not gotten or has stopped recruiting those elite-level guys on the offensive line in this portal class, and instead you're starting to see them zero in more on guys like Amaziah Siale, who took an official visit to LSU this past weekend and now just a couple of days after that official visit to Baton Rouge, has picked the LSU Tigers. He's got photos all on his Instagram of his visit up there at the South Stadium Club and all the, what do they call it, the Skyline Club, doing the photo shoot, eating dinner. Shout out, my buddy Kevin Kimball over at Stabs told me at Stabs Prime they catered the thing this weekend. All I can guess, Muse, is that there was no cake in that crab cake. I hope they served up the crab cake.
You have to have the crab cake.
I mean,
tell me.
There ain't no cake in that crab cake.
No cake.
If you're not familiar, my buddy Kevin Kimball has an ad for Stats Prime where he says there ain't no cake in that crab cake. We laugh at it all the time. Crab cake is good though. In any event, point is, Amaziah Siale visits LSU this weekend, and a couple days later now flips to LSU from Cal. I'll get more into the approach in a second, but let's go through who Amaziah Siale is. He's from Hawaii, Mission Viejo. He's a 3-star, was committed to Cal. He's got a lot of offers. I do say it often. I'm not necessarily concerned with your star ranking or rating or any of that stuff. I'm more concerned with who has offered. And his offer list is actually pretty impressive. So he's now committed to LSU. He had been committed to Cal. He had offers from Texas, West Virginia, SMU, Oklahoma, UCLA, Arizona State, Alabama, Illinois, Utah. So he's got real interest, right? Real school interest there. Big offensive lineman. But I look at it this way. I know, by the way, after committing to LSU, he's canceled now his official visit, which was scheduled for Texas. He was supposed to go to Austin. Cancel that. He's all in on LSU. Look at that offensive line position group, and I think this starts to paint a very clear picture of what they're doing. You signed 4 high school offensive linemen in this most recent cycle. You added 8 offensive linemen via the transfer portal. All 12 guys that you added this past offseason, since Lane Kiffin arrived, all 12 that you added on the offensive line all have multiple years of eligibility remaining. Meaning, they're not going into the portal and adding a bunch of mercenaries, and they're not looking for freshmen on the offensive line that are going to play immediately. They returned Braylon Moore, and they brought in Jordan Seaton, who's the high-profile guy and is likely going to be one and done at LSU and a top 10 pick in the draft. We all hope that's the case for him. That means he had a great season, stayed healthy, and all that stuff. Aluba, the guy was a 2-year starter at Maryland, has 2 years of eligibility remaining, should he choose to use them. Anyway, you understand the point. But what I think this illustrates, I know what this illustrates, is the reality that Kiffin and this front office are taking in their approach. Remember, let me spell this out. Remember a couple of weeks ago, Nick Saban was testifying before Congress. This isn't about the Congress thing or the Save College Sport, Protect College Sports thing. It's specifically a piece of information Saban mentioned, because we hear people say roster budget numbers all the time, and I hear also, you don't really know what to believe and what's true. Well, this is Nick Saban under oath. He's at a congressional hearing under oath, okay? So I don't think he's lying or making this up. This is Nick Saban talking about the NIL numbers at Alabama Go.
Let me give you the history. My first year we had collective at Alabama, $2.7 million. Next year, $7 million. Next year, $10 million. I retired. Next year, $17 million. Next year, $24 million. Now you have schools that have close to $40 million rosters.
Okay. We don't have to guess. The greatest coach of all time told you his first year in the NIL era, their football roster was $2.7 million. They went from 2.7 to 7 to 10 to 17, now 24. Okay? In some instances, you're talking about 100% increases year over year. You hear people say that's not sustainable. That's true. 100% increases year over year is not sustainable. Now, let me tell you what I know about LSU. In 2024, just 2 seasons ago, that roster, the one that went 8-4, Nussmeier had the 4,000-yard season, that roster cost LSU less than $5 million. That's going to blow your mind. But you wonder why that team couldn't compete with the best teams on its schedule? They spent less than $5 million on that roster. Everyone melts after the Bryce Underwood thing. They dump money. Last year's roster was close to $20 million. Now they're over $40 million. Everyone keeps throwing around 40. It's over 40. Okay, it's more than 40 million. So you are talking about from last year to this year, 100% increase. Now they did not intend to spend 40 million on this roster. The number was going to be higher than what they spent last year, but they kept having more opportunity. Nobody told Kiffin no. Everybody got caught up in it, and you saw what happened. The point is, you can't go 40 to 80. That's not real. The funds aren't there. So I think what we're seeing here with Kiffin is not the intention to say next January you're going back in the portal, adding 40 more guys and spending 40 million more. That's not what they're doing. As I have had it explained to me, they are actually signing players to multi-year contracts. That's one tactic that LSU is using now. It is also very clear they are not signing elite-level high school prospects that are not going to play immediately. I've given Josh Dobson as an example. Number one corner in the country, a guy all along who was thought to be an LSU guy. Then all of a sudden, boom, he's no longer even considering LSU. Why? He won't go play in 2027. So don't pay him like a five-star deserves to be paid. He's going to get that money somewhere else. There is no freshman offensive lineman that's coming to campus next year and starting. So there is no sense in paying a five-star number to Mark Matthews or Albert Simeon or any of the other elite-level five-star offensive linemen because they're not going to play immediately in 2027. I just told you. They went and added 4 freshmen, 8 transfers. All 12 have multiple years of eligibility. Look at guys like William Satterwhite from Tennessee. That dude played his freshman year at Tennessee, transferred to LSU. Knew Braylon Moore was coming back. He knows he ain't playing this year, but he picked LSU anyway. Why? He's staying multiple years. Darren Stray from Kentucky followed Eric Wolford. He knew he wasn't playing this year. Jordan Seaton out there, brought in Devin Harper. You brought back Weston Davis. I mean, dude knows he ain't playing this year, but he came to wait his turn. Ryan Moret sat in the studio. 3-star from Miami, was committed to Kiffin at Ole Miss. He knows Braylon Moore is there, and they brought in Satterwhite. He was running 3s until Satterwhite got hurt in spring and then moved up to the 2s, but he knows he's not playing. He said it sitting in this studio. It was back to what Lane Kiffin said, and we played the clip for you a million times. Challenges his guys, the staff, to really look at character. Are you going to stay? There's no sense in paying a freshman that's going to be here for a year, sit, and leave. What did you pay for? Nothing. So, pay guys that are going to make an immediate impact, or bring in guys that you evaluate, see a very high ceiling, get them here for little to nothing, and let them stay and wait and grow and develop. And if they leave, you haven't lost anything financially. And if they stay, awesome. You've built depth and continuity and consistency in your roster and culture and all those things. And when a guy like Mark Matthews from Lauderdale goes to A&M, doesn't play as a freshman, goes in the portal, and you're looking for a tackle, then you go pay him. Makes a lot of sense. The fact that they took Amaziah Siale tells me they think he's a high-character guy with a huge ceiling that maybe isn't ready to play yet, but is coming to LSU for multiple years, and when his time comes, they think he's going to be really good. That's good enough for me. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Our friends over at Mockler Beverage, man, they've been great supporters not only of LSU, but of our communities throughout Louisiana. Of course, down in Southwest Louisiana, where we were a couple of weeks ago, they're the official beer of McNeese. They got their Homa office as well down the bayou. Listen, whenever you reach in that cooler, whenever you order a Bud Light at your favorite restaurant watering hole, you know that Bud physically got there from a Bud man that works for Mockler Beverage here locally. You're supporting great local business that supports the Tigers, the Saints, all of our teams, and tons of local charities. A great family. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, let me knock out a quick break, y'all. We'll come back. Jeff Watson is going to join us when we come back next from Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. He does all of their NIL law. So there's been a development in the Sorsby case. Jeff's going to make it make sense from a legal standpoint when we come back on AFR.
AFR.
Huge hat tip and congratulations to our friends at Duplessis Pools. They did it again. Last year, Duplessis Pools was listed among the top 50 pool builders in America from Pool and Spa Magazine. And over the weekend, when I was out in Vegas, got a text from my buddy Luke. Duplessis Pools has been honored yet again. Don't know yet the exact number and where they're going to fall on the list of the top 50 pool builders in America, but they've made the list again for the second consecutive year. The honors just keep on rolling in. 2026, top 50 pool builders in America. Listen, yes, I'd say it all the time. There's tons and tons and tons and tons of great pool builders that'll build you a beautiful pool. But when you're talking about the combination of a beautiful pool with great workmanship built to last and customer service, there's only one. It's Duplessis Pools. Log on to DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. Start building your dream pool today. DuplessisPools.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Well, I think all the sides are entrenched, Matt. Texas Tech with Kirby Hocutt coming out with a statement and Joey McGuire, again, talking about a return-to-play plan for Brendan Sorsby shows that they aren't flinching. Tech has made their side very clear, and obviously, the Big 12 ADs stated their case and stated it loudly. They don't like how this is unfolded, and they want to see some kind of action.
That's Pete Thamel on SportsCenter. If you've missed the latest news, the NCAA is asking the courts for a Brendan Sorsby ruling before the season, and the Big 12 has clapped back as they have sued Texas Tech and the Texas State Attorney General over this Sorsby ruling. I am not an attorney. I'm not fluent in legalese. Thankfully, Jeff Watson is. Of course, he's part of the team over at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, but Jeff's the guy who handles all their NIL athletes and all the NIL law and everything like that, so he knows way more about this, and he's good enough to spend a couple of minutes trying to make me not sound stupid. Tough task. Jeff, thanks. How are you, man?
Yeah. Hey, dude. Doing good.
Hey, okay, let's start. We'll go back in a second to the ruling.
Injunction.
We'll go back to that, but let's start with today, which is the Big 12 suing Texas Tech and the Texas Attorney General. What is this? How is that even possible? What does this mean?
Okay, so we do really have to go back, though, to the state court injunction real quick, just so we can understand state versus federal. So a state judge ordered or ruled on a temporary injunction in favor of Sorsby to be able to play this year by finding that he felt that Sorsby would have probable, imminent, and irreparable injury if the temporary injunction was not ordered. And he set it for trial for February 2026. Okay, so a temporary injunction was ordered by the judge saying, right now we are not going to enforce the NCAA's rule that he is ineligible because we find he's going to have this irreparable harm. So let's have a trial on this in February of 2026. Well, as you know, that starts everything because the season's over and you can't, take away the fact that he played. And so what the NCAA did was they filed their own expedited appeal on that injunction, asking for the appeal to be ruled upon on the temporary injunction prior to August the 28th, which is when the season starts. So that's what's going on in the state court. State court judge rules and grants the injunction and then sets a trial date after the season is over with. That's hilarious in itself. And then the NCAA is like, okay, what can I do? I'm going to file for an expedited appeal to see if I can get this temporary injunction overturned, and I've asked for a hearing prior to August the 28th so that we can get this done now.
Jeff, is there a difference between filing an appeal and suing the Big 12 and the Attorney General, or the Texas Tech and the Attorney General?
Yes. In an appeal, you want some remedy from someone else's ruling. So the judge ruled in a certain way, and they're going to the next Court of Appeals level and saying, hey, Court of Appeals judges, I think this judge is wrong, and we need you to look at it right now. And that's all in state court and completely separate.
Okay.
The federal lawsuit, as you know, the Attorney General for Texas last week made a comment that, hey, Big 12, if you try to do anything, we're going to file suit against you. All right, so that happened last week. So what the Big 12 did was, in response to the Attorney General making the comment that we're going to sue you if you try to enforce any of your rules, the Big 12 filed a lawsuit for a declaratory judgment and an injunction on their own saying, hey, federal court, the Northern District in Texas, we want you to issue a ruling that says that we are allowed the authority to use our bylaws and punish Texas Tech and Sorsby. So they want to invoke their authority under 3.6 of their bylaws to be able to sanction sanction Texas Tech for allowing a player to play that is engaged in collegiate sport betting, which is obviously a violation of their bylaws. They need a supermajority vote of this. They believe they have everyone on board, and that they believe that they can invoke their authority. So, anticipating that the Attorney General was going to file suit against them, they went ahead and filed their own lawsuit saying, hey, Judge, hey, federal court, let us have the authority to use our bylaws because we would like to punish Sorsby and Texas Tech if they play, and they want to do it financially and keep them out of the Big 12 championship game as two of the big things that they put in there.
Okay, I got a couple follow-ups.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Sorsby asked basically for an expedited case, right? Because they needed an answer. Why?
Injunctions by nature are now.
Okay.
And that's why they're temporary.
Okay. And it was granted till February 27th. Why couldn't the appeal be heard more quickly than February 27th?
It can. And what NCAA did was we want it to happen really fast. Like February 2027 is, 7 months from now. We would like you to hear our appeal like right now. So normally you file an appeal and then, the briefs are due and things are exchanged and then oral arguments are assigned. And that all takes a lot of time. And so you're looking at 3, 4, 5 months for that appeal process to happen. And so the NCAA is saying, hey, we really would like this done by August the 28th.
Okay. So how do you think, like, is that plausible that they'll hear? And Jeff, even if they do have the hearing, the appeal before August 28th, like, aren't you back in the same court that granted the injunction to begin with? Like, wouldn't they just stick with their ruling?
Well, what they would make, then you have a trial. So the temporary injunction would be lifted, which then would allow the NCAA to assert their ineligible status of him. And you have a trial to find out what it really is in February of 27, which, again, will be irrelevant because the season will have gone by. It's a lot of legal maneuvering Sorsby doesn't care what happens in February of 27.
Right.
All they wanted was a temporary injunction, give us a trial date down the road, and now we can have our season. Who cares what they go back and do?
Let's say, and Jeff Watson's our guest, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, handles all the I'm probably oversimplifying it, Jeff, when I say like you handle all of the NIL law with Gordon's thing, but that's I pretty much have that right, correct? Like,
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Go back to the federal suit that was filed here on Monday. Let's say that the Big 12 wins. Does the federal ruling supersede the state court ruling?
That's what they're asking for. They're saying we think it does and we think you should do it. Well, then what Texas Tech would do would assert their authority, and they would monetarily do what they could do, and then they would keep them out of the Big 12 championship.
What you're saying that's what the Big 12 would do?
Yes.
Okay.
That's their argument. That's all they want. All they want is they want to be able to assert their authority under their bylaws to punish Texas Tech. And they want the federal court to say, yes, you can do this. Then they're going to do it because their interest is the Big 12 and its member institutions have no interest in being required to endorse or even appearing to endorse unethical and indeed unlawful conduct that strikes at the heart of athletic integrity. That's what their filing is about, and that's what they did. So they 100% plan on issuing punishments and sanctions if Sorsby is allowed to play.
NIL has been in existence for 5 years. I can't even imagine how many contracts, NIL contracts you've done throughout the various collective, now the clearinghouse, all the stuff. Okay, you've done maybe hundreds. I don't know.
All of them. Yeah, lots.
When you see the Sorsby thing, what do you think?
So I think that NIL has been used to completely gut NCAA authority because of antitrust and the antitrust exemption issues that we have. And every single person that has filed any lawsuit in all of this has used NIL as the reason why that ruling cannot be upheld or that rule can't be upheld. I'm going to lose all of this money if you enforce your rules. And so not only has NIL changed the world and like players getting paid, but it has also given reasoning in all of these lawsuits as to why you cannot implement the rules that you have established. So it's created a massive legal problem because they're now using NIL as the scapegoat of the reason why a rule should not be enforced. I'm not going to be able to make all of this money because of your rule. And it just gets looked at differently than just, I don't like your rule.
Mm-hmm.
It's, now you're preventing me from making money. That's antitrust. That's, you can't prevent me. We think it's unfair what you're doing. And so you need to give me a temporary injunction against your ruling so that I can make money this year. That's exactly what Sorsby, that's the irreparable injury that the judge used to tell the NCAA your ineligibility ruling is going to harm this kid.
Yeah.
Not even talking about what he did. If you look at his injunction, it talks about him getting help and all, but the reason why they're allowing this is because it's preventing him from making a living. And so NIL is now being used as a reason to not enforce NCAA rules.
Yeah.
And when it gets to this point where someone is gambling like this and admitting to it, and the NCAA can't enforce rules on that conduct, it's not good.
Yeah. It's a big old mess, man. Do you think Sorsby plays?
One more thing is June 22nd is the NFL supplemental draft, which they're also using as his injury as irreparable harm because he has to decide whether if he can't play at Texas Tech, he needs to enter the supplemental draft. I tried to go through the federal courts and look at like ACC versus like Florida State and Clemson had a big fight in 2024 and the Big East versus TCU. And I tried to kind of look in there and see, did they win or not? But most of them were resolved. This is a whole different world. Man, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And I've tried.
Jeff Watson, we'll all be watching, and if I get confused on legal stuff, I'll probably bother you again soon. We appreciate the time,
No
man.
problem.
Thanks.
All right, bud. You have a good one.
Okay, man. That's Jeff Watson over at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney. As I mentioned, Jeff's the guy that has handled dozens, hundreds, I don't know, of NIL contracts for Gordon and the G team. And also, I mean, he's as well versed as anybody I know in all of this space. So as this develops, we'll certainly continue to follow it. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, shawbillstire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana, including right there on Burbank in Baton Rouge. And Danny Klein is the manager of that Shawbills on Burbank. And I popped in last week, and I had an opportunity to visit with Danny about what makes Shawbills different.
Shawbills like to put the customer first, and they're family-oriented. It's all about building the repertoire with your customers. You want to make them more as family than just another number, basically. You get to know them personally. It kind of benefits you in the long run. They don't try to second guess you. They build trust with you. And you don't see that much with a lot of the corporate stores. They just try to get people in and out, and they're going to build that repertoire with people.
Shawbills has been family owned and operated since 1968. Danny's a great representative there, one of the rising stars in that business and in that company, and it was really great to go visit with him for a few minutes last week over at the Burbank location, which is where I typically find myself when I got auto issues. Find the Shawbills nearest you and schedule an appointment today, and you'll have the same experience that I do. Name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they're going to treat you like family. Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, shawbillstire.com. Shawbills! We keep you rolling. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. I'll also get you an update on the College World Series. Texas is walloping Alabama right now, 11-2. They're top 7. Looks like Bama season's about to come to an end, and Texas will live to play another day. We'll get to that. Ari Temkin is going to join us in 45 minutes. Our buddy from Big 12 Radio, kind of give us the latest on the football side of things with all the Sorsby stuff. We'll get to that. So we're glad you're hanging out with us here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, if you want to feel your best, feel like your younger self, Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. And I want to remind you, at Goodwood, lowest prices, never any contracts. So what do you have to lose? Like if you're a man and you're already on HRT using another clinic, if you're not using Goodwood, you're probably overpaying. Remember, they have no membership fees. They pick up the cost of your blood labs. When you have blood labs every 6 months, they're going to get you the lowest prices on your hormone therapy. And again, there's never any contracts. A simple blood draw can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. You want to feel like your younger self? Burn fat, build muscle, sleep well at night, great waking energy, libido, get throughout the day, avoid that 2:30 crash, feel like you did when you were younger? Goodwood can help. YourGoodwood.com. YourGoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits.
Was at South Point Volkswagen last week, got a new vehicle. As I was going through that process, needed to get my insurance switched over. Couldn't find my insurance card, my proof of insurance. Shocker, I know, right? I texted Adam from Insurance Network of Louisiana. He was at the beach, replied, put me on a thread with Jay, who within a matter of, I don't know, literally less than 5 minutes, had my proof of insurance in my inbox. And then they called South Point to get my insurance switched over to the new vehicle. I did nothing. When I tell you better coverage for less money with Insurance Network of Louisiana, yes, that's part of it. They have top-rated carriers. They're going to work to find you better coverage for less money. Home, auto, business, umbrella, flood, all of it. Better coverage, less money. But they are also your agent. So you text or call them, and they give you exceptional customer service with a real living, breathing human who can help you right away. It's Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Maverick Rizzi is staying in the Southeastern Conference. The big righty announced over the weekend that he's taking his talents to the University of Mississippi. He'll go pitch for the Rebels. Genuinely surprised by this one. This may sound like a little bit of a, like I may be contradicting myself here. I think Maverick Rizzi is going to pitch in the big leagues. He's 6'9". He throws damn near 100. All of the reasons that he's a great arm talent and a prospect, like somebody is going to get Maverick Rizzi and take that really talented ball of clay and purge the wild thing Rick Vaughn out of him and teach him how to throw the ball over the plate consistently. And when he does that, he's going to be hell on wheels, and I think he'll pitch in the big leagues. He certainly has the ability. He led LSU in appearances as a freshman on the national championship team. And then this year, the walks, the wild pitches, the hit by pitch, it was just the command wasn't there. And so they couldn't justify giving him the ball in leverage spots. So he effectively was relegated to a midweek role and then like an up 10, down 10 guy. He just didn't throw impactful innings. So if you're Rizzy, I understand leaving LSU because next year is your draft year. You have to pitch. And there's no guarantee with Evans and Schmidt and Moore and Paz and Ricken all coming back and Landon Hood coming in. Like, there's no guarantee that he'd be in the rotation. I'd actually say it's way more likely he would not have the opportunity to be a starter, which is what all these guys want. There's no guarantee he'd have an opportunity to pitch leverage innings out of the bullpen next year at LSU. And that was on a team that finished dead last in the conference in staff ERA. So I'm not surprised that Rizzy left. As we talked about when he announced he was transferring. Like, he has to pitch. He has to get mound time. He has to get innings under his belt because he's going into his draft year. I thought he would probably go somewhere like in a mid-major where he was going to be guaranteed that opportunity. Now, I understand Ole Miss is probably losing their top two arms, and so there will be opportunity in the rotation there. Rabe, Townsend, like, we'll see what happens with Hunter Elliott. He actually can come back for a sixth season. So, like, they may be losing their entire rotation. So there's opportunity, but nothing's guaranteed. If Maverick Rizzy were to go, down to a mid-major, he'd be guaranteed to throw 50, 60 innings this year. Maybe more, depending if he became a consistent starter, whatever. So he's staying in the SEC. He's going to a place where they're going to have opportunities to go, maybe earn a spot in the rotation. But if he don't figure it out in a hurry, he's going to be relegated to the same role he had at LSU this year because at Ole Miss, they got to win. It's not like in the minors where you're going to pitch because they need you to pitch to get you better. In the SEC, they need to win games. And if you can't throw the ball over the plate, they're not going to put you out there in leverage spots to get outs if they can't trust you. So, interesting decision by Maverick Rizzy. I wish him luck in life. I wish him no luck whatsoever at Ole Miss. I hope he loses every game he pitches and they never win a game ever in anything because I am not a cheer for the SEC guy. I'm watching right now Texas and Bama, and Bama's like bad news bears in this thing in the outfield right now. But, like, I wish both of these teams could lose right now. I want them both to lose and be embarrassed. I am not a pull for the SEC guy ever. So I don't want good things for anyone in the conference outside of LSU. Anyway, so we'll follow this and see how it goes. Texas is beating Alabama right now, 11-2. They're bottom 7, and the Horns have a runner on third with a one out. Yeah, it's wrong. I think the graphic on there is wrong. But in any event, we'll keep you posted to see how that all develops. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com. Arco.com, industrial Generac generator power. Got back from Vegas last night, drove into town, and what happened? Started raining because it rains every day right now. And it's a reminder this time of year, we're in storm season, that it's part of living here. Storms come, hopefully no extremely damaging storms, but part of the weather means power outages. And so many people have standby generators at their home. I'm in that number. What about your business? Can you afford for your business to be offline for hours, days, weeks? I know I can't. I know at Guarantee Media we can't, so I have a generator in the back of this building. You want a Generac industrial generator for your business, your industrial commercial facility? Arco Power Systems can help. Everything is turnkey. They're great people. ARCCO. Arco.com. Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco Power Systems. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Kentucky Wildcats.
We know that Mitch Barnhart's retiring after nearly 25 years as Kentucky AD, and it looks like Michigan State Athletic Director Jay Batt is set to replace Barnhart. It's former Georgia Tech AD who promoted Brent Key, by the way, to the head coaching job. So that was previously at Alabama as an associate from 2017 to 2022.
The Auburn Tigers.
4-star defensive lineman Nate Kamba has committed to Auburn. He's the number 2 defensive lineman in North Carolina. Picked Auburn over South Carolina, Georgia, Ohio State, among others. The 18th commit for Auburn's class.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
4-star running back Yoshawn Hudson has picked Mississippi State. He's out of the state of Mississippi, one of the state's top prospects. He's the number 194 prospect in America, the 15th best running back. He becomes the 14th commit for Mississippi State's 2027 class.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
And Texas 3-star John Catlin, the 4th. He's committed to Arkansas, was on an official visit this weekend. He's 5'10", 145. Let me say that again. He's 5'10", 145. Sounds like an Arkansas player. Boston College, Boise State, BYU, North Texas are the other offers that he had. The 17th commit for Arkansas's class. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Monday shows, as always, are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. They do it all. Shades and shutters, too. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. We will keep you posted on this here on this Texas and Bama game whenever it goes final. It's Texas 11-2 right now in the bottom of the 7th. So we'll keep an eye on that as it. This is an elimination game, so it looks like Texas is going to advance here, and Bama very likely is going to be going home. Ole Miss became the first team to bow out of the College World Series, losing a day ago in an elimination game where they blew a lead and lost to Troy. So I say it all the time, man. I am anti-SEC. I want no good things for the SEC. I only want SEC teams to lose. One entire half of the bracket, I just poked myself in the eye. One entire half of the bracket is full of the SEC, so somebody is going to merge out of that, probably Georgia, to play in the championship series. But as of right now, Georgia and North Carolina are in control, both at 2-0 in the College World Series. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Forgive me. Georgia plays Oklahoma tonight. If Georgia wins, they will move to 2-0 and be in the driver's seat in their half of the bracket, which I assume they will. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 1. Don't you move, it's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty Agent, 225.com, agent225.com. If you're thinking of selling your home, call Darren James. Told you last week, Jacques Juge, a listener to AFR, try to sell. This is the quintessential example of what not to do, initially anyway. Try to sell his home for sale by owner. After a month, listed it with a realtor. Even despite listening to AFR for years and hearing me talk about Darren James. The other realtor had his home listed for a year. Couldn't sell it. Finally called Darren, fired that realtor, called Darren James. Within a month, boom, home sold at closing. Darren has the systems, the processes, the people in place, the network of buyers to get your home sold fast for more money. It's almost like a magic trick. Just call Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Hi, this is Beth Tarina. Welcome to my pool.
The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
For the review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
I got to see No Doubt at the Sphere on Saturday. It was awesome. On the way to Vegas when we left on Friday, they played this one. They played them all.
I would say they had to just play the hits, right?
It was incredible. So we're leaving the house on Friday, and Erica Paulie, can you pull up this photo? Did you see this on social on Friday, Muse, by chance?
I saw some photos. I don't know if it's this exact one.
Did you see this one?
I did see that one, yes.
Okay. So that's Erica at the New Orleans airport in her orange and white checkerboard tank. And we leave the house, and I'm like, why are you wearing a Tennessee shirt?
Yeah.
And she's like, it's odd. It's No Doubt. I'm like, okay. Literally everyone who sees this is going to think you're wearing a Tennessee shirt.
Mm-hmm. You're dressed like the end zone.
I showed her the end zone.
Yeah.
She's, nah. I post that photo on social media with can you please put it back up? Yeah, thank you. So just note leading anything, just what's the first thing you think of when you see this? And everything is, of course, like Rocky Top, blah, puke, whatever you have. Now, two things happen. We land in Vegas, and we go to baggage claim. A man walks up to us and says, thank you, and says, y'all must be from Tennessee. Mind you, I'm wearing an LSU polo.
As you should when you travel, by the way.
LSU polo there, Saints polo home.
There you go.
Of course. Guys from Arkansas. He just saw her shirt. We're like, no, we're going to the No Doubt show. Now, the in fairness part is the actual logo for the tour. So a big part of No Doubt is like the checkerboard logo. The logo for the tour is the band standing in front of a depiction of the Sphere, and of course the Sphere, the whole thing is a screen, and the Sphere is orange and white checkerboards. Like it is the actual logo for the tour. It didn't stop me from just mocking her mercilessly.
It shouldn't have. It shouldn't have.
All that sort of stuff. But so in her defense, that was that. But the Sphere remains undefeated. Can you play this, Paulie? This was I posted this on my Instagram and my my Facebook if you want to see it. This was how the show opens. Like, it doesn't even do it justice just looking at it. I mean, you don't even realize, like, that's the giant, so the stage is there at the bottom, right? We're in the 200 level. These are my meta glasses showing this. I'll just repeat it like I tell people over and over, a million times over. Just go to the Sphere. It doesn't matter what you're going to see. Like, we went and saw Wizard of Oz in January. Part of the reason I was so hell-bent, this was the last show No Doubt was doing, by the way, Sphere. So we got to see the last show. I kind of joke I would watch a dog taking a crap at the Sphere. It doesn't matter what it is. It's that venue is so otherworldly. There's just nothing like it. So 10 out of 10 recommend. And by the way, Gwen Stefani, 56 years old.
Man.
smoke.
Yeah.
Fire at 56. I mean, like, they still sound awesome. They played everything, played for 2 hours. The show was amazing. Like, they were incredible. Hat tip, no doubt they were awesome. I'd say go see them at the Sphere. You can't. Saturday was their last show. Got to be there for it. But, like, if they play another concert somewhere, like, go watch. They were incredible. They still sound great. They played all the hits. It's one of those things. They're 2 hours. They play, and every song they play the whole time is awesome. So, great time there in Vegas this weekend. And thanks to Buse and Paul for holding it down while I was out on Friday. Okay, while I was out, LSU landed a baseball commit. We'll talk about him next on AFR.
After further review.
We are brought to you by First South Farm Credit, First South Land, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Hey, just recently, of course, they issued their patronage refund. More than $20 million they gave back to their borrowers. It's something they do and have done every year for the last 30-plus years over at First South Farm Credit, which effectively lessens your cost of borrowing. Go to FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit because for more than 100 years, they've helped Louisianians buy land. So what are your options? Do you have land currently? Do you want to roll some equity from your current property into a new property? Are you starting from scratch? Is it a hunting property? Is it a recreational property? Are you looking to buy land that's maybe it'll incur expenses for tax purposes as an investment, or maybe you're looking to build your family's dream home? You need First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit LouisianaPropane.com.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? This is SportsCenter.
I'm Ed Bank, and the offseason is now underway in the NBA, and one team has apparently found its new head coach, according to ESPN Shams Charania. The Bulls are finalizing a deal for Thiago Splitter to take over after he coached in Portland last season. Also, according to Shams Charania, Darren Peterson is making a pre-draft visit with the Wizards, but is not planning to visit any other teams. Meanwhile, the Knicks are still basking in the team's first championship in 53 years. Earlier today on Good Morning America on ABC, Karl Anthony Towns had high praise for Coach Mike Brown.
His ability to adjust our team offensively and defensively to bring out the best of us speaks volumes to him as a coach, working on the fly and also just hearing his players out.
The Knicks will get a championship parade in New York on Thursday. At the World Cup, late in the second half, Egypt and Belgium are tied at 1. A shocker earlier, Spain settles for a scoreless draw with Cape Verde. Coming up later, it's Saudi Arabia and Uruguay. They'll get away in about an hour. Coming up later tonight, it's Iran versus New Zealand. In baseball, the Braves are shutting down pitcher Spencer Strider for 4 weeks. He's dealing with inflammation in his right elbow.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Tuesday, as the New York Knicks celebrate their first title in 53 years, I'll tell you if other teams can copy their recipe for success. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yuso. And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Ari Temkin from Big 12 Radio will be here in a dozen minutes from right now. Give us the latest on the Sorsby stuff. If you missed it, hour 1, we had attorney Jeff Watson from Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys here with us, kind of giving us the legal perspective on the latest. If you missed it, the Big 12 is suing Texas Tech and the Texas State Attorney General. They're also looking in state court for an expedited, basically an injunction against the injunction, whatever. Jeff gave all the legalese. You can go back and catch that on demand if you missed it. AFR On Demand, presented by Brick Golf. Jay Johnson at it again.
Another one.
I mean, it's really impressive, man. He is taking a wrecking ball to this portal cycle. And someone asked me over the weekend what's different from a year ago where they had one of the top portal classes. And that's a very fair question. And maybe at the risk of oversimplifying it, this is very clearly a quality over quantity approach that they're taking. They've only added 5 guys. But all 5 that they've added are arguably the best in the portal at the thing they do. Bino Waters is the number 1 player in the portal. On 3 has Landon Hood as the number 3 player in the portal. Cade Curlin has played in 190 career baseball games at the University of Florida. He's going to be your second baseman. Dawson Park, this staff felt was the best defensive infielder in the portal, and he was going to be the shortstop had Stephen Milam gone pro. Well, with Milam coming back, Dawson Park's going to be your third baseman. Even if he doesn't hit a lick, the left side of your infield is Milam and Dawson Park. And then you got Cade Curlin at second, who's seen everything. Really impressive. And then over the weekend, they had Jason Wachs. Very candidly, I was sitting at dinner before we went to No Doubt on Saturday. I went to dinner at Scarpetta in the Cosmopolitan. I'm sitting there, and I got pinged that Wachs committed. And he didn't announce it until Sunday morning. So I put out a very intentionally vague but leading tweet that I'm sure most people assumed correctly meant that Wachs had committed. What I didn't mention in that tweet, I think, is even more impressive, which is that Jay Johnson got his behind on a plane and flew up to Cape Cod to go see Wachs, and that's where he landed him. And it just underscores again, number one, just the maniacal nature in which Jay Johnson attacks the portal and recruiting and everything about competing for a championship. It's just the thing that matters most to him. So if you were wondering, like missing the postseason last year, how would Jay Johnson react? Well, this is a pretty good indicator, right? I know it's also been this conversation about, not making it to Omaha. Does it help in the portal cycle? Well, this is a pretty good indicator. I was actually having a conversation with someone today, let's call it close to Ole Miss. And Ole Miss, of course, was in the College World Series. One of the assistants at Ole Miss between their games this year in Omaha flew home to host a recruit and then flew back to Omaha to coach in the College World Series. That is the disadvantage of being in the College World Series. I don't know how you fix the calendar, but in any event, the point is, let me not lose sight of it, which is Jay Johnson wanted Jason Wachs. Wachs took a visit to LSU, left without committing. He's from the state of Florida. His dad has ties to the University of Florida. He visited Florida, Florida State, Miami, Texas, Tennessee. Jay Johnson wanted him, prioritized him, and ultimately got him, which is great news. And I think it does sort of underscore the quality over quantity approach in this year's cycle. Just for example, think about this past season, right? You added 4 infielders. 3 of them were effectively the same guy. Caraway, Dardar, Simpson. None of the 3 were plus defenders. All were average to poor defenders. You brought them in because of their power. That's why you brought them here. You were trying to replace Jones and Fry's power numbers, and so you went at those guys, and then York as well. Well, none of them translated offensively, and they were all bad defensively. So, in turn, they gave you nothing, which is why you ended up with a freshman in Ruckert at second base and Pearson hitting .250 playing third. That's not a great option. What they've done in this portal cycle is they've said, we're not taking a risk. Everybody they've added are plus defenders. Wachs, Waters, Park, Kurland, you got Milam coming back. Everywhere, you are good defensively. So even if Dawson Park coming in from Texas State doesn't translate offensively, he struggles with SEC pitching. Okay, you've got an elite glove on the left side of your infield next to Stephen Milam. That part, even look, there were times this year where Milam ended up hitting 296, 297, just a shade under 300. But there's a chunk of this season where Milam was hitting below 250, but defensively he was elite. So you at least have that. Wachs is a fascinating guy because he profiles the same as Derek Curiel. Curiel 6'2", 190. Wachs 6'2". I think they have him at 192 or something like that. Maybe Curiel's 192 and they have Wachs at 190. Physically, they look the same. Now remember, Curiel sat in the studio and told us that he broke his ankle in November, and when he did, he lost like 15 pounds. But Wachs is a guy, which is the quintessential example of projecting, how scouts project a player based on the ability. Goes to Tulane as a freshman, hits 350, hits 337, I think, as a freshman, and hits 2 homers. Comes back as a sophomore, hits 330 again, 9 homers. Now, can 2 go to 9, go to 12 to 15? Okay. Well, if this guy with great speed, great bat-to-ball skills, has shown for 2 seasons in college he can hit for average, if the power continues to develop, and this is your leadoff guy who maybe can give you 12 to 15 homers in a lineup that also is going to feature Milam, power from both sides, Bino Waters, Cerna, Aaron Beatty. Is Braun the 7th best power bat on the team next year? I mean, maybe. It's just, you can see how, Cade Kurland hit 17 as a freshman at Florida. So you can see how Jay has built this lineup. Now, the question everyone is going to ask, and you're right to ask, is, Matt, that's great. But offense wasn't really the problem this year. You're right, by the way. it's 6 guys in the everyday lineup that hit over 300. Offense wasn't. There were times, look, don't get me wrong, there were times. The Oklahoma series, they were anemic offensively. There were times the offense went in the deep freeze, as is wont to happen over a 56-game marathon. There's going to be bad weekends offensively. But over the course of the season, you aren't so anemic offensively that's what cost you. It was your inability to throw the ball over the plate. You were dead last in the conference in staff ERA. So where are the pitchers? Remember what Jay Johnson told our friend Michael Cobble at WBRZ in their interview last week.
What I'm excited about is I think there is plenty of in-house pitcher talent that can and will perform better than they did in this season. And I'm really, really excited about that. I think we have a good pathway to that. I think it's taking each of them individually, you know, the guys in that starter bucket with Kaysen, with William, with Cooper Moore, Marcos Paz. I mean, huge benefit getting him 4 SEC starts as a freshman. I think there's some real positives in all of those guys are going to be better in the 2027 season than they were in the 2026. My job and goal is to support that group better with the type of defense that we played in 2025.
Saying definitively all those guys are going to be better is a mouthful. And you better be right, because as I understand it, they are not looking to add starters. I've mentioned this before, and I'll say it again. My understanding is Jay just told you, by the way, they're excited about who they have coming back. And the arm talent, the ability is undeniable. Can they improve year to year? They need to, because they're not going to add starters. What they do want to add before in this portal cycle is a couple of more relievers. And I'd really like some impact guys from the left side. You're very likely going to lose Santiago Garcia. They believe he's going to sign. You know you're losing Devin Sheeran. Gavin Guidry sat in this studio and said he's ready to begin his pro career, but would be open to return, but very likely he's going to go. When you look at the lefties you have back, Cooper Williams, you hope takes a step. Lockenmeyer, Plog, you got a couple of guys there. Would love, situational lefty. Would love to see Cooper Williams maybe take the step and push for a starter spot. We'll see. But they're going to go look for a couple of arms to fortify this bullpen and this staff. But they are not looking for plug-and-play starting pitching. They believe they have it on this roster. They've got the arm talent. That's undeniable. But they got to pitch better than they did this year. But with what they've done defensively and the bats they brought in, this is going to be an incredibly impressive lineup for the Tigers in 2027. Can the pitching match it? If it does, then Tigers should be playing well into June. And instead of us sitting here talking about the portal and watching Texas and Alabama in the bottom of the 8th. Hopefully we'll be watching the Tigers in Omaha next year. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Big shout out to our friends over at South Point Volkswagen. Man, I was there last week. Traded in my Crossport for a new 2026 Crossport. Got the SEL. Little more technology in the SEL, but find whichever model you want. Got the blacked out rims as well. Didn't even want that. It just came on the model that I got. I love it. I've told you, man, it's all I've driven since I've started endorsing South Point Volkswagen 15 years ago. Style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost. I was walking into Guarantee today, and Cindy Ushery, who works with us here, has been here forever. She was pulling into her parking spot. She was in a brand new black Volkswagen SUV as well. She got a Taos, and she pulled into the spot, and I was like, she gave me a big wave. She went, Matt! So she went by South Point and picked up a Volkswagen as well. I'm telling you, if it's mid-size, compact, full-size family SUV, they got you sedans, whatever type of vehicle you're looking to drive. Our friends over at South Point Volkswagen can help you out. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. I want to grab a quick break. Our buddy Ari Temkin from Big 12 Radio is going to join us next. The Sorsby thing has taken another weird, sordid turn. We'll get Ari's take on it when we come back next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Watermark Baton Rouge is Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. Downtown at the corner of 3rd and Convention, the original Louisiana National Bank building. I actually found out recently that Guarantee, when our company, when it was Guarantee Income Life Insurance Company, the original office in Baton Rouge was actually one of the floors in that building, which is now Watermark Baton Rouge. So they've taken this beautiful historic building in downtown Baton Rouge, which has been there for 100 years, and they've maintained so much of the historical integrity and added modern amenities. The Gregory is the restaurant there right in the lobby with the open charcoal oven in the lobby, which is amazing. All those beautiful aromas waft through the lobby. The lobby bar is awesome. You can see all the pedestrian foot traffic on 3rd and Convention, and it's an amazing place to host an event or have a staycation. It's downtown on 3rd Street. It's Watermark, Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
If you are thinking about building a metal building, you need Proform Steel. Proformla.com. Proformla.com. As a matter of fact, you can price and order right there on the website. Just go to proformla.com. There's a blue button right there where you can request a quote, do the whole thing online. Super user-friendly, proformla.com. But I want to remind you, with Proform Steel, first of all, you know Brandon Golson. Like if you or someone who has bought, buys metal buildings, you know Brandon Golson. Incredible. He's actually on the state licensing board. You know the work he does, the quality, the business ethics, the integrity. Awesome guy, beautiful work. But when we talk about Proform Steel, there's a couple things that are real differentiators. One is the lead time. They carry on commercial or industrial buildings about a 10-week lead time when most are 16 to 20 weeks. On residential, it's about 6 to 8 weeks. And they will always deliver your building for free. Proformla.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Well, the NCAA made it very clear they want an answer by the start of football season. August 28th, for all the filings to go through, was what the NCAA asked for. They asked for an expedited ruling. They thought it was unreasonable that the court date wasn't until after the college football playoff last year. So this is, again, a request, but it also symbolizes another headwind toward Brendan Sorsby. Could the NCAA or could the Texas court make a new ruling in late August that puts him in limbo? So again, more headwinds today for Brendan Sorsby and his case to be eligible for the 2026 season.
It's Pete Thamel on SportsCenter. Everybody's suing everybody! Our buddy Ari Temkin, Big 12 Radio, part of Tune In. Get him on YouTube as well. Always good enough to hang out with us, talk some Big 12. Hey, man, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing really well. Just got back from Vegas, man. I was out there to watch No Doubt at the Sphere. So, like, you go recharge the batteries, get to have a cool weekend like that, then I'm fired up to come back and talk about lawsuits. And
how was that? Was that a good show?
Amazing, dude. Were you a No Doubt fan? Are you a No Doubt fan?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Bro.
I used to love No Doubt back in the day.
Used to?
I mean, I didn't realize they were still together and touring. I thought there was like a solo career.
Yeah, so they're not touring. They did a residency for 2 months at the Sphere, and Saturday was their last show. So me and my wife and our friends, it was a couple trip. We flew out to Vegas, watched the show at the Sphere, which, Ari, I tell everybody, man, like, I know this is kind of crude, but I'd pay to watch a dog take a crap at the Sphere. It's that amazing. I mean, that venue is just unlike anything else. So if you're in Vegas, it doesn't matter what's playing or showing. Just go to the Sphere. I tell everybody, just go to the Sphere. So yeah, man, it was amazing. And Gwen Stefani, 56, Ari. She's 56. Sounds awesome and is a smoke show, straight fire. I mean, hard to believe. Even my wife was like, "Yeah, she looks amazing." It's crazy. So
yeah, that is crazy. I mean, 56. That's one of those where you have to like check the age multiple times. You're like, is that real? Am I really seeing that?
They formed in 1987 and dropped Tragic Kingdom in 95, which was obviously the giant album that made them internationally known and all that sort of stuff. But hell, dude, 95 has been 30 years. It's been 31 years since Tragic Kingdom dropped. So
wow.
I know, bro. You want to feel old? Yeah, we've been listening to the Don't Speak and Spiderwebs for 31 years, you know? I know. Okay. Hopefully we have resolution of Brendan Sorsby's case within 31 years. How about that? Transition. Radio guy. Hey, what is the temperature in the Big 12 today? Like just the finger on the pulse of everyone there right now.
I think it's a lot better today than it was on Friday. You know, I look at this filing by the Big 12 as a huge positive for the conference. You know, and it in many ways represents, you know, a significant sea change for what we've seen within the Big 12 within recent history. You know, and that is that there was brands at the top that would drive the bus. And no matter what everybody else wanted, it was all about what Texas and Oklahoma wanted. And you can make the same case that Texas Tech is in a similar position because of the money they're spending in football, because of the resources they have, and because, you know, up until this point, they've had a pretty decent ascending brand in the sport. And what Brett Yormark has done from the start is get consensus. And I think what great leaders do is try to earn consensus amongst the group. And, you know, I think what we're seeing right now is exactly that, is even though it might be in the best interest of the Big 12 to, you know, placate to Texas Tech and to have their back in this situation where nobody else in college football does, it's almost as if the Big 12 is this final lifeline, its final boss, if you will, to get in the way of what everybody else doesn't want, and that is for Sorsby to play. So I think there's sort of two elements to this that are really interesting that make this really positive for the Big 12. The first is the fact that the Big 12 is going for consensus here, as Yormark has across the board, and not necessarily playing to, you know, the largest theater with the best brand. And then the other side of that, again, the other part to that too, again, is, you know, that you've got the Big 12 as sort of the last boss here representing for the rest of college football that really doesn't want Brendan Sorsby to play next year.
Hey, Ari, is there anyone or any group of people within the Big 12 that does want Sorsby to play, aside from outside of Texas Tech?
No, that's pretty obvious at this point in time. Okay. That the immediate reaction was 15 teams on one side and Texas Tech on the other. And in previous instances, in previous iterations of this conference, and probably truthfully across the board in other conferences too, the one vote on that one side would be far more meaningful than the 15 other on the other side. And that's not the case anymore, which is really good news for the Big 12.
What do you think? That's interesting to hear you say it, that it is sort of 15 against 1. This may sound obvious, Ari, but I'm just curious, you being close to it, like, what is driving this motivation for Texas Tech when so clearly everyone in the college football loving world is pushing, and they're literally, as you just said, the only one pulling?
Right. And not only that, but I mean, last time you had me on, you know, I was sort of on Texas Tech and Sorsby's side. I said that the injunction was going to happen. And I said that, you know, based on how there aren't really any rules right now in college football, I'm okay with it. But from a PR standpoint, they really completely bungled, I would say, these last few weeks. It's really starting with the injunction itself. I thought the Texas Tech team did a really good job from a PR standpoint up until the injunction was announced. And then instead of getting out in front of it to try to control the narrative, they sort of were reactionary, which led to that video being released last week, which I thought did them absolutely no favors. Had they done that, and not exactly in that capacity, but had they released some of the statements that were said in that, like the sentiment, had that been the initial, it might have been totally different. And then you, of course, have Joey McGuire going in front of the Texas Tech fans in Houston at the Touchdown Club saying it's not like it was murder or sexual assault, which, I think they should have been united in saying, we've got to go in on the addiction piece. Don't go anywhere else in terms of making excuses or say anything else. They're taking on far too many arguments and trying, it's one of those things where it's the more you try to explain, the guiltier you look. And that's where they're at right now. So, why? It's a great question. There's probably from the vantage point of Cody Campbell, there's some hubris involved here. I'm sure if you asked, Lawrence Skubanak, the president, or Kirby Hocutt, the athletic director, they would tell you the addiction part and supporting him are the impetus for it. But ultimately, we know what this is. The Texas Tech has aspirations to, win college football playoff games. They were really good last year, winning the Big 12. They want to go back-to-back, and they want to go further in the playoff than they did last year. And they think Sorsby is the key to doing that. And they're too late now in the process to try to replace Sorsby. So they're going to ride with the hot hand as much as they possibly can, even if it alienates them from the rest of the college football world.
It's like that thing, you tell yourself a lie enough times, you begin to believe it. It kind of feels like that's where the Texas Tech leadership is right now, which I get it, right? I mean, it's like you just said very eloquently. I mean, you got to win football games, and he gives them the best shot, but the at what cost is huge. Let me ask you a hypothetical. If Brendan Sorsby doesn't play this year, let's say the Big 12's lawsuit or whatever, and then he can't play, what does that mean for Tech and, by extension, the Big 12 as a whole?
It's a great question. I think ultimately Tech has done probably some damage to the relationship, not just with the other members of the Big 12, but with the Big 12 itself. But I would give a ton of credit to Brett Yormark, because we've never seen under Brett Yormark this much dissension in the ranks. Everything that's been public with the Big 12 has been a united front, has been a consensus. But that's not always the case, right? We just hear about it as a consensus, but there is some infighting that occurs, and I think Yormark has done a good job to sort of manage that, especially manage it from the public space. And so, look, I mean, this is a much harder lift because it's extremely public. It's extremely, there's some pretty hard feelings involved. So it's not like some of these other, issues that may have caused some, dissension amongst the Big 12 members. But he still was able to do it. And I think I'll give Yormark credit for his ability to create consensus where there, doesn't appear to be one. And I think in this case, it's obviously gone so far to a point to where you've got to at some point concede something if you're Texas Tech. And then not only that, but you've got to concede something from a relationship standpoint in order to save face, because, it's not as if they're just alienating themselves right now from the Big 12 and they've got all these opportunities to go to the SEC or to go to the Big 10 or the ACC, right? They are persona non grata right now across college sports. And that will carry them. So, even though they may not realize it today, and even though I'm sure there's a lot of hubris on the part of Cody Campbell, eventually they'll figure out that, they're the stinkiest members on the block and that they've got to figure out how to make sure that they're cleaning themselves where they aren't so stinky. But I think what you've just identified, Matt, is probably the most important component of this entire story moving forward for the conference is how do you sort of, re-ingratiate Texas Tech into a situation where they've created a lot of enemies.
Yeah. Last one, Ari, specifically on the field, if Sorsby can't play, who benefits the most from that?
Genuinely, I think it's Texas Tech at this point in time, honestly. If in a world, Matt, where Sorsby plays 10 games, I don't have them winning the Big 12. I think this is far too much to deal with. I think there's way too much from a psyche of the locker room. I think, Sorsby has legitimate concerns about his psyche and, how much can he handle? And he's lost 11 straight games in November. So has Cincinnati, but that, I'm not going to divorce Sorsby entirely from that, losing all these football games down the stretch of the season. So for me, this is a big part of why I think if you're Joey McGuire, you just cut bait right now and move on. But who benefits from it? Everybody does. I think the Big 12 does. I think college football does. I think Texas Tech does. It feels like it's the only path forward here, given where we are. And again, I think at this point, just the psyche of the locker room. I'm sure there are guys that don't agree with him playing in that locker room. I'm sure there are guys that do, but that creates a really difficult deal to manage in the locker room. So, I think everybody really benefits from it. And I think Tech at this point, for me, you're doing far more damage on the field. Forget about the away the field from the field stuff. Just on the field, I feel like you're doing way too much damage on the field right now to your team to move forward like this.
That is a really interesting perspective. A lot to unpack as this continues to evolve. Ari Temkin, Big 12 Radio. Tune in, YouTube. Get him on Twitter or X at Ari Sports, ARI Sports, if you want to give him a follow. We always appreciate the time, man. Thanks for squeezing us in as always.
You're the best. It's going to be well, man. Take care.
All right, bud. We'll see you soon. That's Ari Temkin. It's after further review. We are brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics, FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU. Together we roar. And yes, when LSU was looking for a championship health partner, they chose Our Lady of the Lake when the physicians that take care of LSU student athletes, but also the students on campus at the Student Center. Our Lady of the Lake has that contract. And maybe it's your primary care. My primary care physician, as I tell you all the time, is Dr. Curtis Chastain at the Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Clinic. And it's been part of my health journey, being transformative and being proactive, going to the doctor, having my annual with Dr. Chastain every year. They also offer pediatrics. We take Drew to the Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, a world-class standalone children's hospital right here in Baton Rouge. Cancer, heart, stroke, whatever care you may need, you don't have to leave home to get world-class care. You can get it right here at the lake. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together we roar. Learn more at ololrmc.com/LSU. ololrmc.com/LSU. That was an interesting, really interesting point already made there. Let me break so I can stay on time. I want to follow, because I do have a follow-up because I asked him twice in two different ways who benefits the most from Sorsby not being there. I kept trying to get him to give me another team in the Big 12 that if Texas Tech is not there would benefit. And he kept going back to saying, no, Texas Tech would be better without Sorsby. I want to react to that when we come back. And the weirdest juxtaposition in all of sports is taking place right now. We'll explain when we come back at AFR.
AFR.
Rev Fiber, REV, fiber.com, revfiber.com, revfiber.com. I want you to go to that website. In particular, look, homeowners, business owners, revfiber.com. If you're not happy with your internet service provider, it's time to switch. I was with a different internet service provider for the last 10 years until we moved, when we moved into our current home. And then Rev came into our neighborhood, laid fiber a few months ago, and we immediately switched. Over at Parrish Construction and Roofing, we are a Rev Fiber customer at Parrish. So actually, there's the spot right there. If you're watching, that's Terrio did the Rev commercial and all. They shot it at our Parrish office. So I'm not joking. We are Rev customers. I guarantee we are Rev customers. It's better customer service. It's an all fiber network. It's lightning fast internet speeds. It's security, automation, phones, cable, all of it. Rev Fiber. Do business with a great local business. RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU Sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Fox, 5 seconds remaining. Fox to Wemby. Wemby tries a three, puts it up, off the mark. Anunoby the rebound. It's over. It's over. Knick fans, this is not a dream. Your long, long wait has ended. Go ahead and cry. After 53 years, the Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
Call on ESPN. Knicks, for the first time since 1973, are NBA champs. I'm not breaking down the finals. You've got plenty of that on all the national platforms. When this thing started, that's why I don't really have a rooting interest. I don't really care about the Knicks. I don't like the Spurs. They're in the same division as the Pelicans. I have two observations. Number one is my sole rooting interest in the NBA Finals was Josh Hart and Jose Alvarado. They were great players with the Pelicans. They embraced the city. They were great ambassadors for the franchise, for the city, for the region. I feel very, very good for both of them winning an NBA championship. As a matter of fact, this was Josh Hart in the postgame.
Man, this is the best feeling, man. We worked so hard for this. I give glory to God. Everyone was doubted at some point. This team was doubted at some point. And all we focused on is the next game. All we focused on is those guys in the locker room. And people don't understand, we don't really talk about it, but the weight of that jersey, the expectations, the pressure of that jersey. And like I say, today, right now, is the lightest it's ever felt. And all glory to God, man.
Really cool, man. Josh Hart was a great Pelican, and really feel good for him getting that done. And Jose Alvarado, of course. The other, I mentioned there was two things. One was in my sole rooting interest were those two guys, the former Pels, Alvarado and Josh Hart. The other that I thought was fascinating is this means now 8 consecutive years in the NBA where you've had a different champion. You've not had a repeat champion in not only not consecutive, but in any of those 8 years. Dating back to 2019 with Toronto, you went Raptors, then the Lakers won the fake championship in the bubble, but LeBron will claim it and call himself the king. But then you went Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics, Thunder, and now Knicks. So just math, sometime in the next 2 decades, the Pelicans should win the NBA championship. Doesn't that math? Yeah?
That is, in fact, how mathematics works, yes.
So, I look for trends, and this tells me that we just got to keep holding on because our time is coming.
It is.
Here.
Yeah. No, and look, this could be soon. You got a new coach, got a lot of talent. You're seeing former Pelicans leave and go win, so it's like you don't have good players.
Pelicans stink. Never winning anything. But there's a point in 2005. In 2005, when the Saints are playing home games in New York, Tiger Stadium, San Antonio, you told me in 2005 the Saints are going to win a Super Bowl. I'd have punched you in the face. Closed fist, punched you in the face. That's what I would have done to you.
It's understandable.
And they made the right hire, and they got the right player, and they went on and won. So, I don't know that they have the right hire right now in Joe Dumars as the vice president of basketball operations. I hope they made the right hire, their head coach. I really hope they nail their top 10 draft pick this year, Muse. That's what I'm hoping for.
Hey, look,
what?
man.
What?
Look.
Well, they were so bad. They have to have a top 10 pick,
no,
right?
They don't, though.
Wait, what do you mean they don't have a top 10
It
pick?
wasn't protected, and they traded
Oh. Yeah. So they don't have a top 10 draft
They
pick.
don't. They don't have a first. They don't have a first round pick.
Oh, not a first round
Not
at
even.
all?
Yeah, no. They're not going to pick in the first round.
Yeah. See, that's what happens when you're a bad organization.
Yeah.
So. But look, those rookies looked really good this year. There was a lot of times that I was sitting on my patio, having a whiskey, a cigar, watching the Pels Sunday night against Sacramento, and there's Joel Vanile on the call. And I just felt like I was the only human alive watching the Pelicans. Yeah. I might have been.
One of them.
Might have been. But tell us to every young person who I run across in the state of Louisiana, who's a lifelong Alabama fan, air quotes. It's all about the climb. The destination feels better because of the journey. So because the Pelicans stink, when they finally get there, like the Saints, it's going to feel that much better. Like I'm sure for Knicks fans today, after waiting 53 years, it feels that much better. But I probably would rather go on a dynastic run like the Patriots, where you win six Super Bowls or Golden State. I would rather that.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
That'd be way better. I'd rather that be better. We're brought to you by Rouse's, official supermarket of your New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Hey, I remind you all the time about the hot bar. You can go make your groceries at Rouse's. They got everything you need, and they do a great job of sourcing locally and supporting great local farmers and fishermen, and they're awesome. But if you're looking for food, lunch or dinner, any night of the week, you can always get by Rouse's. The hot bar is awesome. And if you go to their social media, Facebook or Instagram, they'll put up the menu for the hot bar so you can see what they have on a given week, day by day. They have the hot and boiled kiosk as well. You want boiled shrimp, boiled crawfish while they're in season. We tell you about that all the time as well. Grab and go sushi, $5 sushi every Tuesday. Maybe you want something from the butcher or something from the seafood market to throw on the grill. You can always do that and get on by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. I mentioned Music and Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 here in a smidge. Trades Green had a camp this weekend, spoke to Jacques Doucet. Let's hear a little bit of what Trades had to say. And a fascinating piece of data from CBS Sports. They went deep. This is statistical, okay? So this isn't just some random list. They went deep dive into returning offensive production metrics and what that may mean as far as projecting offense for college football in 2026. I'm gonna make it make sense here in about 16 minutes, but you're gonna want to hear that. I did say this is right now we have the greatest juxtaposition in sports. The Stanley Cup Finals ended last night. Congrats to the Carolina Hurricanes, which won the Stanley Cup.
What a deserving Stanley Cup champion the Carolina Hurricanes are. One of the best teams in the regular season and a brilliant playoff performance.
Okay, that's fine. Muse, as you and I determined a week ago that if we had to name 10 active hockey players to save our lives, we'd be dead.
Yes, I'm dead.
You'd be dead, I'd be dead. Paul, would you be alive? Could you name 10 active hockey players?
Before the NHL playoffs, probably not. No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Well, today. Did you watch the playoffs?
I did. I watched
Okay.
He was invested.
He's our shot.
Yeah.
By the way, good for you, Paulie. That's great. I couldn't. Now, when I was a kid and I'd watch SportsCenter on loop, 5 times a day, and I was watching like Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr and Eric Lindros and Wayne Gretzky, and I could do that all day long. Mike Modano, cameo in the Mighty Ducks.
I think you just got 10 right there.
I'm like halfway there.
Yeah.
But again, that era, I could do it. Now I got in a shot. I remember there was a guy named TJ Oshie who played for Team USA, and I had a big moment in a loss in the Olympics or something like that. But anyway, Alex Ovechkin plays now.
Ovi, yep.
Yep, him. And then Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, he's still playing.
Got that. Ray Borg. Ray Borg.
I don't know who that is.
Avalanche. It was a big deal when the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup. Mark Messier won with New York back in '95. Again, that was my era, my SportsCenter era. But anyway, I've said this often. The greatest juxtaposition in sports is the NHL and the World Cup. Okay?
Okay, I'm following you.
All right. The World Cup is the greatest sporting event in the world. Okay? Not my favorite. I'm not saying it's the most popular in the United States of America. I'm saying the World Cup is the most famous event in the world, right? Is that fair? Sporting event in the world.
I agree, yes.
I mean, it's internationally the most popular event, okay? However, the most popular event in the world has the crappiest trophy imaginable. Look, I mean, this little thing is like about the size of my knee, and it sucks. It's like a ball on a tee. It's like if you were to take a golf ball, put it on a tee, make the tee a little bit fatter, and then make it, and then just do the thing where you're expanding a picture. You grab the corner and expand it up. Like that's what the World Cup trophy is. It's crap, objectively. Like this is a crappy little trophy. Yes?
I mean, I don't feel as strongly about you, but it's not the best. But I mean, I think it's fine.
It's the greatest sporting event in the world, and it's got this as a trophy.
Yeah. You know what the problem is?
The trophy doesn't match the event.
There's actually not even a cup on it.
By contrast, the NHL Finals, the Stanley Cup playoffs, has the greatest trophy in sports. The trophy's as big as a human. And everybody that's ever won it, your name gets engraved on it. People get to take it for a day with them. They get to drink out of it, put their baby in it, and take pictures. Like the Stanley Cup, Lord Stanley's Cup is the greatest trophy in sports. And nobody watches the Stanley Cup playoffs. I was looking at the numbers today. It's like 3 to 5 million people. There's as many people who watch College World Series as watch Stanley Cup. Yeah. It's just not a thing here or anywhere really, except like Canada and maybe Minnesota. But that's about it. It's the greatest juxtaposition in sports. Stanley Cup Finals. I get people like, oh, it's the greatest postseason. Then why does nobody watch? The Stanley Cup, the trophy is amazing. Nobody watches the postseason. World Cup, greatest event ever, crappiest trophy in sports. I got to get a break at AFR.
AFR.
If I had the Stanley Cup, I would take it to Clegg's, and I'd buy some flowers and some dirt, and I'd plant it at the... You think I could do that? I could do that, right? I mean, I get it for a day.
I was going to say, it's your day to have it, yeah.
It's your day. I mean, there's probably people who put it in their bed. They drink, they pour champagne and drink out of it. Why couldn't I put a little soil and some dipplodenias in there? Some purple and gold ones, and then some one side purple and gold, one side black and gold. I think that'd be great. That's what I would do with Lord Stanley's Cup if I had it for a day. I'd take it to Clegg's. Use it as my own little planter, my own little patio pot. Would that be a one of one? I don't think anybody's done that ever, huh?
Yeah, no, that'd probably just be you. Yeah.
That's what I would try to do. Like, what could I do with the Stanley Cup that nobody else has done? I would take the Stanley Cup to Clegg's, buy some soil, some flowers, and I plant flowers in the top of it and let it sit on my back patio for a day. Let's start the petition. Buy local shop, local Clegg's Nursery.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding.
Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 2. By the way, Amaziah Siale, offensive lineman out of Hawaii, committed to LSU earlier today. We are waiting here in minutes for an announcement from Terrence Smith, who was set to announce 7 minutes ago at 4:45 Central. It's Auburn, LSU, Rutgers, and Tennessee. I think LSU feels really good about where they are for Terrence Smith. So when that announcement comes, we'll pass it along to you. Right now, Musu. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, let's start in Double-A with Cade Anderson because over the weekend, he spun just another gem. 6 2/3 shutout, 3 hits in walking body, punched out 6. He's now 6-0 on the season in Double-A with a 1.13 ERA.
What?
He's making a mockery out of it. It can't be long for Cade Anderson with the All-Star break coming next month before he's probably up in the show with Seattle. Paul Skeens. 6 innings, 2 earned, walked 1, punched out 10. Did awesome. Pirates lost 4-2. Remember when they were scoring runs for him earlier in the year? That's over with. Dylan Cruz went 1 for 5 with a double for the Nats on Sunday. Drove in a run as well with the double and came around to score. It was his second double of the year. RBI total now up to 10. Excuse me. Alex Bregman turned in a 2 for 4 effort for the Cubbies. Both of those were singles. They lost 5-1. Our guy, Hunter Fiducia, 1 for 4. 1 for 4. Drove in a run, came around to score as well. He's hitting 250. Been a really solid year. And then Angel Reese, she had a double-double, 15 and 17. That's Tigers and Pros.
Presented by the Williamson Eye Center. Want to see 2020? Call 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. My buddy Dr. Blake Williamson will take great care of you just like he did for me. It was actually interesting. I got to test my my superhuman vision yesterday. We're at the airport, landed in New Orleans. They told us we'd be like at baggage claim carousel number 5. We're there, and nothing was happening. And so I looked across to a different carousel, and I could read the screen from, 60 feet away, 50, whatever, where the little small print said, no, look, New Orleans is there at carousel 6 now. So we walked over. Telling you want to see 2020? You can do it. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. Terrence Smith they're literally going to him right now. He's set to make his announcement. It's on the CBS College Sports YouTube channel. So this will happen while we're here in the top of the hour break, and we'll come back after the top of the hour and see if LSU landed another offensive line commitment. AFR.
AFR.
PSA, courtesy of Parrish Construction and Roofing. If you haven't heard yet, LDI, the Louisiana Department of Insurance, has opened up and expanded its fortified roof program. So an additional 3,000 Louisiana homeowners will be awarded a grant up to $10,000 to install a fortified roof at your home. If you go to our website, parishbuilt.com, 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 you'll see the blue bar at the top of the homepage. That link will take you directly to the LDI website. Again, this is the Louisiana Department of Insurance that's doing this. But Parrish is a certified fortified roofing contractor. We are certified to install fortified roofs. So we'd love to help you out. But go apply at the Louisiana Department of Insurance to get into that lottery to be one of 3,000 Louisiana residents to win a grant up to $10,000 to install a fortified roof. And we tell you all the time, roof repairs, replacements, commercial, residential, gutter, soft wash, we do it all. Parishbuilt.com. Parishbuilt.com. Parishbuilt.com.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Hi, this is Beth Tarina. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Ed Bank, and we start with off-season news from the NBA and an apparent coaching decision in Chicago. According to ESPN Shams Charania, the Bulls are finalizing a deal for Thiago Splitter to take over as head coach. Splitter was the head coach in Portland this past season. Also, according to Shams Charania, Darren Peterson is making a pre-draft visit with the Wizards but will not visit any other teams. Meanwhile, the Knicks are still savoring their first NBA title in 53 years. Earlier on Good Morning America, Mikal Bridges talked about what it was like to win a title with some of his former Villanova teammates.
No, not really. It's just crazy how we all, being on the same team again. It's crazy, even talking about this now and being here today.
The Knicks will get a championship parade in New York on Thursday. At the World Cup, a surprise earlier today, Spain settles for a scoreless draw with Cape Verde. Meanwhile, Egypt and Belgium played to a 1-1 draw. Coming up in a few moments, Saudi Arabia and Uruguay. And tonight in Southern California, New Zealand takes on Iran. College World Series, Texas beats Alabama 14-2 in an elimination game. Coming up at the top of the hour, Georgia and Oklahoma.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Get out there and make it a good one. Jason Ratcliffe in 13 minutes from right now. He's in Omaha from 64 Analytics. Want to talk to him about the College World Series, but really also about LSU's baseball portal class, which is now up to 5. We'll do that coming here in about a dozen minutes. Breaking news. And good news for the LSU football Tigers. Just minutes ago, as we were going to the top of the hour, Terrence Smith, offensive lineman, was making his announcement on the CBS Sports College Football YouTube channel and did, in fact, pick the LSU Tigers over Auburn, Rutgers, and Tennessee. So LSU now has its second offensive line commitment of the day, and now 2 offensive line commits for the class of 2027. If you missed it earlier, Amaziah Siale out of Hawaii was a Cal commit and flipped to LSU. So now you've got Amaziah Siale, who is the 9th commit of the class, and Terrence Smith, now the 10th commit of LSU's class. Terrence Smith, just to run through the bio real quickly, he is out of Lansdale Catholic, that's in Pennsylvania. He is he's a 4-star, 6'7", 290, nationally ranked in the Rivals industry, number 111. So he's on the precipice of a top 100 overall prospect. He is the 10th best interior offensive lineman in America. He's actually ranked as high as number 5 at his position by 24/7, who has him as the number 39 overall prospect, regardless of position. I tell you often that I am way more concerned with who is recruiting a player instead of star rating, ranking, all that sort of stuff. And this is a guy who had, offers from, my goodness, the list is long and distinguished if you look at the offers that Smith has. As we mentioned, LSU, Rutgers, Auburn, Penn State, Tennessee, those are among the finalists there. Florida, Syracuse, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Kentucky, Maryland, Oregon, Georgia, Nebraska, Virginia Tech, Wisconsin, Missouri, Pitt, West Virginia, Florida State. You get it. North Carolina, Duke, South Carolina, Alabama. He's got tons of offers from all over the country. Basically a top 100 overall prospect, a high 4-star interior offensive lineman. So here on this day now, Amaziah Siale, a big offensive tackle out of Hawaii, had been committed to Cal. He flips to LSU after his official this weekend. And now Terrence Smith, 4-star, top 100, right on the precipice of a top 100 overall prospect in America, picks LSU. So 2 commits today. That gives LSU 10 for the class of 2027, and its first 2 offensive linemen for this class in Eric Wolford. I think it is important to note, as we've talked so much about the way and the manner in which Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock are building this roster. I know I've played this soundbite so much, but and I don't even need to play the entirety of it, but you get the gist of it. Lane Kiffin was asked about how they evaluate talent now in this era, and he made it pretty clear what their approach is.
I challenge our guys to make sure we evaluate who they are really, really well. Who is the player as they're coming out of high school? What is their mindset? How competitive are they? Because what's going to happen is most likely it's not going to go like they want in the first year. And then get into your analytics of, okay, well, if they're going to, or you're going to pay them, and then they're going to leave after year 1, then what did you really get out of them from a business sense versus the money going somewhere else? So I really tried to find that in tight ends, but in all of our players.
That's good. So you effectively hear what Lane's saying. If we're going to pay you, you got to be able to contribute right away. Because what they don't want to do is pay someone, them not play, and then they leave. Well, then what did you get? You wasted that money as part of your cap. So very clearly what they are doing when they're evaluating high school players, it's guys at the top of the class that will contribute immediately. We've talked a ton about Ahmad Hudson. Trey'Dez Green's likely going to the NFL after this year. You have immediate path to the field for Ahmad Hudson in 2027. You will pay him. Easton Royal, freak show. They think, boom, immediate impact guy at receiver. You will pay Easton Royal. We talked about Mark Matthews, 5-star offensive tackle out of Lauderdale. You are not going to be playing I don't care if he's a 5-star. You're not going to be playing a true freshman offensive tackle in 2027. So why spend the money to sign that offensive tackle if he's not going to play right away? That's been the approach. So you're really seeing what Kiffin and Billy Glasscock are doing. Elite level guys that'll play immediately, or guys that they think will come and will be patient and will wait their turn, grow, develop, and when it is their turn, play. So, when I look at the 2027 offensive line, understanding the thing we can probably agree on, Braylon Moore will be out of eligibility, so you'll have a new center. And then Jordan Seaton is likely going to be a top 10 pick, so you'll need a new left tackle. Okay? Well, you signed William Satterwhite from Tennessee this year, who came in here knowing Braylon Moore is there and is going to wait his turn. You also have Ryan Moret out of Miami, who signed in this high school class and is going to wait his turn. So one of those guys likely is your center in 2027. Aluba could return. Devin Harper is probably going to be a starter in 2027 at one of the spots, guard or tackle. We'll see how it goes. Weston Davis could certainly come back in 2027, and maybe he maintains a start. We'll see how that goes. But remember, you also signed Darren Stray from Kentucky, who was there with Eric Wolford, followed Wolford here. Understanding he's not going to play this year, but likely will have a path to the field at guard or tackle in 2027. Sean Tompkins comes in from Baylor, where he was the starting left tackle at Baylor last year. Well, he's going to sit this year behind Jordan Seaton. But 2027, he's probably your starting left tackle. So all that to say, in knowing that, the approach that LSU is taking, as Kiffin illustrated, how they are building their roster through the high school ranks and through the portal, it's unlikely that Terrence Smith is coming to LSU with the expectation of playing in 2027 as a true freshman. So hearing what you just heard from Kiffin and looking at a guy here who had offers from, and his finalists were Auburn and Tennessee, and had Rutgers on there as well, which is odd, but whatever. And had all these other offers, Florida, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, everybody. It's effectively telling you he checks the box of what Kiffin said. High character guys that are going to be willing to navigate tough times off the field and on it. They're going to come, wait, grow, develop, be patient, and play when it's their time. So I don't anticipate a guy like Terrence Smith coming to campus and playing as a freshman in 2027. What I hope is he comes to campus in 2027, learns, grows, develops physically, weight room, strength, conditioning, system, all that stuff. And in 28, his second year, when Sean Tompkins is gone, and you likely have a path to the field at left tackle and probably right tackle as well with Weston Davis, depending on how it goes. Now you got a guy in his second year ready to go compete for a starting job, potentially. That's the path and the approach that LSU has taken with how they're building not only their offensive line, but the entirety of their roster. And it's with the high school ranks. And it's showing very clearly that's their path. Now, I'm not sitting here like pumping my fist saying, yeah, this is 100% going to work. Because I think everyone, all coaches, all GMs, everyone is trying to figure out how to manage a roster in this era of NIL and transfer portal and high school ranks and caps and rev share and everything. So you have an approach that you think is best. Listen, it's a different approach at Indiana. They just won a national championship. Kurt Signetti's like, go get me a bunch of old dudes. Go give me a bunch of 22, 23. Go give me the Will Wade roster. Go give me the old dudes. And I'll take my 22, 23, 24-year-olds against your 18, 19, and 20-year-olds, and I think I'm going to have more success, especially if you get the right quarterback. It worked last year. They won a national championship. It's a different approach. That's not what Lane Kiffin is doing. So, again, it's not to say what Kiffin is doing is 100% the right way and is going to work, but you can very clearly see how he and Billy Glasscock are choosing to build this roster. And Terrence Smith is a big piece of it there, obviously, for the future. Not very likely for 2027, but for 28 and beyond. 2 offensive line commits here for LSU on Monday. Amaziah Siale, a tackle out of Hawaii, flips from Cal, and then 4-star Terrence Smith from Pennsylvania picks LSU over a handful of other finalists, including Auburn and Tennessee. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. We are brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. I always give you the Goldilocks analogy. It's just right. Those big box stores, that can be cookie cutter, not as great selection, very impersonal. You go to the boutiques, probably not going to have a great selection. You're probably going to overpay. You go to Lee Michaels, because they're buying for 9 stores, you're going to get the great selection and you're going to get the great price, but they're also going to give you the great customer service experience. They call it the Lee Michaels experience. Want to walk in and try on 100 pieces of jewelry and not buy anything? Fine, do it. They want you to be comfortable with the purchase you make and understanding that buying a beautiful piece of jewelry is a special occasion. Hopefully it's something you give to a loved one that's passed down in your family for generations. And they want that to be exhibited in every part of that experience. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We're going to head to Omaha. Jason Ratcliffe from 64 Analytics will be here. We're talking about this LSU baseball portal class, get some perspective on it. And then when we come back at the bottom of the hour, I'll circle back to what I was teasing before the top of the hour when LSU got the commitment, which is some real deep dive analytics on returning offensive experience and what that means as you sort of project LSU and Lane Kiffin's offense for 2026. We'll do that as we continue. Stay here at AFR.
After further review.
If you need to hire, you need Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. Hire for what, Matt? Well, hire for anything. Quite literally. It doesn't matter if your business is in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, or San Antonio, San Diego, doesn't matter. Anywhere, quite literally. It doesn't matter if you're looking for skilled blue-collar labor or if you need to hire an office job, from an office assistant all the way up to the C-suite. So our friends at Glow Resources, over the course of a year, will interview some 15,000 candidates for various jobs. So they are experts at knowing the right questions to ask to make sure you get the right person for your job. And they're so confident in their ability to find that person that if for whatever reason the employee they hire for your job doesn't work, they'll give you a prorated refund or find you a new employee for free. What do you have to lose? Time to be more productive. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online at GLO, glowresources.com. Complete employer solutions.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
If your office is experiencing performance issues, like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
This ball is headed to the bleachers. You can count it for a 2-run homer. What a night Jason Wachs has had.
Man, I miss hearing Lynn Rollins. Just realized how much I miss hearing Lynn Rollins. Hopefully, I'll have the opportunity to call LSU baseball games deeper than he did this year. Maybe like Jason Wachs will be a big part of that. LSU's baseball portal class now up to 5. The College World Series is going on. Jason Ratcliffe, who's the founder of 64 Analytics, good enough to join us now from Omaha. Talk a little about the College World Series, but also this LSU portal class. Jason, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
Doing really well. We just finished game 1. They have some food up here in the press box, so I pounded some meatballs. I've been talking with some coaches, having a good day. The weather's been good. It rained a little bit yesterday, but 2 days ago, but it's been sunny skies since.
This is why you come to the show. We give you boots on the ground analysis about the meatballs there in the press box at the Schwab. By the way, Jay, how are the meatballs?
I would say above average, but I wouldn't sit down at a restaurant for them, if that makes sense.
Relative to press box food, though, sounds pretty good.
Oh, relative to press box food, we're talking high-end stuff. And they have Fresca on demand.
Okay.
So, there's a lot to complain about, but there's nothing to need, if that makes any sense.
I love it so much. That's awesome, man. Thank you for the time. Hey, we came out of the break and we played the home run of Jason Wachs hitting the home run against LSU earlier this year. The latest addition for Jay Johnson's portal cycle, you like it?
I like it a lot. I mean, frankly, I think they kind of fit a lot of their needs. And, I don't want to harp or stay a little bit on their last portal season, but I think last portal season they kind of focused on what I'll call quarter infielders. And I think this year they kind of are adjusting a little bit or almost doing more of those middle infielders. So you got Cade and you got Park, and they're also bringing back Milam. So, I mean, they've got a lot of pieces. They're bringing a lot of pieces back. So I don't think they need a ton, but I think they're probably pretty close to being done.
Well, by the way, what was the consensus reaction to Milam's decision to return?
I'm going to say 80% shock and 20% I get it. You were talking about a little bit of the age of the NIL, and I think that's starting to have a little bit of an impact in baseball because you're talking about some of these kids. Like it's hard to go from college all the way to pro because you effectively have 4 to 5 teams that are between you and the pros, unless you're going for the Angels where they throw you right into it. So when you're looking at kind of like a signing bonus for a guy like Milam, who's not a big guy, he's got some pop, but he's not a big guy. He would absolutely be the exception and not the rule. My assumption is if he's looking at that and he's saying, okay, well, I maybe will make X in my signing bonus if I could get potentially Y in NIL. Like theoretically, would it make sense to come back? And there's also something that's potentially coming down the pipeline associated with it's called a 5-and-5, and so that would be 5 years to play 5 years. Previously, you had 5 years to play 4, and you could redshirt. Now it'd be 5 years to play 5. So in theory, you could have a guy like him for 2 more years. And so if you're able to get some sort of compensation for those 2 years, it may actually be at or greater than what your potential signing bonus would be for the pros.
I want to ask Jason we talked about adding Wachs from Tulane. What about the 2 infielders you mentioned there with Park and Curlin? We know Curlin because he played 4 years at Florida, but in particular with Park, what's LSU getting there?
I think you're getting an elite defensive shortstop, second baseman, third baseman. I mean, ultimately, whatever he can be there. I think, frankly, they've got 3 guys that can play 3 positions. I don't see Milam playing third. He has the arm for it. Frankly, if it was me, I'm not one of the coaches. I probably would sit Milam at short, and I would try to see if Curland or if Park, which one's going to play second or third. Park has such incredible range. I mean, he could potentially go to short. I think really they could kind of just say, roll the dice, and whichever one goes to short, I think all 3 would work. So with Park, you're going to get a really incredible shortstop. I mean, he's also a bat as well. You're talking about a guy who had about like a 960 OPS, WOBA over 420. So, and the nice thing is if you're associated with isolated power, so effectively that's your slugging minus your batting averages was 274, which was 92nd percentile in the country. So you're getting a guy that's got a lot of pop in the middle infield, which you normally don't get between that pop and the defense. So you're getting a really good player with Park. And with Curland, I mean, it's kind of been up and down for him, which has been unfortunate. So he's already played 4 years. So his freshman year at Florida, when they went to the national championship and actually lost to you guys, I think he had 17 home runs, and he was kind of on top of the world, and everyone thought that he was going to be that next big draft pick. And, he's had some injuries. He's had some ups and downs, and really like his junior year when he had his injury, I mean, he was kind of back to that freshman level. And so you were hoping that he could kind of continue that. And this year, he was pretty good, but he wasn't great. So I think, potentially a better, or maybe not a new scene, maybe something that can help him, kind of finish his career. So I like him a lot. I think, again, you're talking about a guy who brings power to a middle infield or even a corner infield, which is something that you always need in the SEC.
Jason Ratcliffe from 64 Analytics is joining us from Omaha. Let me ask one follow-up on Park. Any concern that the bat doesn't transfer from Texas State into the SEC?
I think you always have that concern. I mean, when you look at it, you always talk about in football and basketball, they would call it the Power Five, and I guess it's kind of the Power Four now that the Pac-12 is gone. If there was a Power Five, the Sun Belt would be that fifth conference. So I do think there is more of an easier translation when it comes. I mean, Troy just beat up on Ole Miss, where they scored 12 runs, and that's another Sun Belt team. So if you were to say like which conference could translate the best to maybe an ACC, Big 12, SEC, it would be the Sun Belt. But you always worry about the spin. A lot of these guys, they can catch up to 93 plus, but sometimes it's that Matt Scott 90-mile-per-hour slider from Georgia that kind of gets you, that looks like a fastball and kind of just falls off the table. So I think you always worry about spin, but I think you get a guy like this regardless because of his defensive ability. So he's got the ability, he's got the pop, and he's got the defense. So I don't think you look at that potential negative as something to get in the way.
Do you have a comp for Bino Waters?
Comp for Bino Waters? That's a great question. No, not really. I would have to think a little bit more about that one. You're just talking about a left-handed slugger. He's from the state of Michigan, so he's going to be a little bit different for traveling down south for you. But he was one of the top 5 players in the portal for us. So my comp would just be a really good player. I would love to have something off the top of my head for you to immediately shove out, but you're going to get one of the guys that pretty much every team in the country was trying to go after. We rank every single hitter in the country with our weighted run created efficiency. We had him as 39th. So that's regardless of classification of year, of anything. We had him as a top 40 hitter. So have that guy kind of player go into the portal and then get that you've effectively just added a potential All-American.
That's a mouthful. The last portal edition that we haven't talked about yet is the lone pitcher, and that's Landon Hood from Gonzaga. Admittedly, a lot of people here probably don't catch a lot of baseball games in Spokane. So what do your analytics tell us about Landon Hood and what LSU's bringing in there?
So, if I were to try to compare him a little bit from what we see, it was almost like an Anthony Jansen. So a guy who is kind of coming from a smaller school that maybe he had the notoriety Jansen did because he went to Team USA. But for us, like he was more in like the 100 to 140 range. Now he doesn't have a ton of innings pitched, and I think he only had like 4 games starting Gonzaga, but you're talking about a guy who can throw 97, 98. So he's really that power arm that can throw multiple different pitches at you all within the zone. And I mean, he was again one of the better pitchers that we had in the country as just a true freshman. So I mean, there are a few things that go into our formula associated with like volume and like where you've done it, as you just said, like being from Gonzaga, which Gonzaga has a good program. Mikey Bell just committed to Georgia. Like there's some good ball that is going on in Gonzaga, but you're going to be getting a stud, and he's probably a little bit better than the 141 that we have. I've seen other outlets put him at 2. For me, I think that's a little too high. Again, for a guy who only has 4 starts in his career for Gonzaga, like I'd have to see a little bit more, but that's more subjective. What we try to be is completely as objective as humanly possible.
That's 64 Analytics. He's Jason Ratcliffe, founder of 64 Analytics. You can get him at JasonR_64A if you want to follow him there on X. Again, at JasonR_64A. You're there in Omaha. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. Biggest surprise for you so far?
Biggest surprise would absolutely have to be Ole Miss. So I think they had a difficult draw to begin with because they had to go up against North Carolina. And North Carolina's strengths, I would say, are 2 things. One, it's their starting pitching. It's their ability to hit left-handers. So you look at Ole Miss's top pitcher, it's going to be Elliott. Now, maybe if you're talking about like a draft board, he may not be your top pitcher. That's probably going to be Rab. But if you're talking about a guy, I think, winning, that he was 7-0 in the College World Series with him at Ole Miss. So, like, he's been there, done that, bought the T-shirt for the Rebels. So the fact that they kind of almost had to pivot and then go to Rab, and Rab looked great. Like, Rab looked phenomenal. Like, Forbes said it in the presser that, he was one of the best arms that they faced. But then, like, kind of after, something that was a little bit of a shock that they lost the game, not a shock, but, maybe a disappointment, is the fact that after getting ahead 6-2 with Elliott on the mound, they let that up against a Troy team. And that Troy team is really good. We just talked about from the Sun Belt. But at the end of the day, like, I don't think anyone had them going to a barbecue.
Can anybody threaten Georgia?
I would say Texas. I think what just happened today may have really helped. And I was talking with some of the Texas beat writers, and they were saying, would you want to face Oklahoma or Georgia in the 1-1 game? And I told them, I think you'd want to face Georgia because the thought process is I want to go 1-1 versus Georgia. I don't want to have to go 2-1 versus Georgia. Now, it's not that Oklahoma isn't a good team. Oklahoma's a very good team. But I think that Georgia has enough depth that you don't really want to have to face them 3 times, especially when you're on game 5 and they're on game 4. But what's nice with this format is you can effectively save some of your pitching. And right now, Texas's bullpen is as fresh as it can be. So even though they're 1-1, they've got plenty of arms. Harrison hasn't thrown yet. Their 2 best arms in the bullpen haven't thrown yet. So they'll be ready to go, whoever that 1-1 game is. And then if they get to a game 4 or game 5, they can probably bring back Volantis. And so that would be on that side of the bracket. And then, I mean, right now, I think if you're talking about like top 3 betting favorite, it would probably have to be North Carolina as the other because their top 5 pitchers are so good. They've played 2 games. They've only thrown 4 guys right now, and they're all studs. So I like those 3 teams the most, but I would probably have to put Georgia at top.
It stinks watching it without the Tigers there, but so far it's been really entertaining College World Series. Hopefully still plenty of good baseball to go. Make sure you're following Jason Ratcliffe at JasonR_64A, founder of 64 Analytics. We appreciate it, man. Thanks for some time. We appreciate you squeezing us in.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Be well. Enjoying the meatballs up there in the press box. That's great to hear, man. They're taking care of it. That's a great option. You know, if you just look, I ain't trying to complain ever. You know, I mean, you're in the press box, you're working, but you're there for free. And yes, there's food in there, but like, I ain't like a hot dog guy. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna eat a hot dog,
you hate hot dogs. Let's be honest.
The only time I'm ever gonna eat a hot dog, if I'm at a ball game, as a fan.
Okay.
And it's like a loaded up dog that's like a specialty at that venue. Like you go to Wrigley and you get you get a Wrigley dog that's just mayo, mustard, ketchup, relish, like all of it, just everything that comes on it. To mute me from the fact that I'm eating a piece of garbage processed cow tongue or whatever that is. You know, that's gross. That's about the only time I'd ever eat a hot dog.
Now, crock-pot meatballs, like our guy Jason was probably just eating right there. I mean, come on.
I'm game.
All day, every day, man.
Load me up.
Yeah.
Because I can just look. I don't need the carbs. I don't need the bun. I don't need everything else. I just load meatballs on a plate.
Couple toothpicks.
That's it.
Go to town. Great snack. Good party snack.
I'm here for it. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. ParishRestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. Parish Restoration. That's who you want. They'll come spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. Get that mold knocked out, lickety-split. You can fog your home in half a day. So it's effective, it's efficient, it's cost-effective as well. And here's some of these mold remediation companies get quotes. The prices are outrageous. Call Parish Restoration. You'll be thrilled. Mold remediation, done right the first time. ParishRestoration.com. ParishRestoration.com. Check them out online. Get that free estimate. ParishRestoration.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on this Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks in about 15 minutes. Already posted over at LouisianaSports.net. When we come back, CBS Sports did a deep dive into this analytic, these deep dive analytics into offensive production for 2026 in college football and what it means as far as projecting. We'll dive into what it means for Lane Kiffin's offense next. It's AFR.
After further review.
Man, thanks to Jeff Watson, who is here with us in hour number 1 from Gordon McKernan's team. You know, Gordon, of course, has been a great partner of ours and been great community partners for 3 decades. Tell you all the time, if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Get Gordon, get it done. Jeff was with us because Jeff is the attorney on Gordon's team that handles all the NIL contracts for the G team members. So over the last half decade, he's on hundreds of NIL contracts. And Jeff was with us kind of breaking down the Sorsby situation. But it's just an illustration of the great partnership that we have. So we need to call on a great attorney that can help us make sense of what's going on with Brendan Sorsby. We can call Jeff Watson or anyone on Gordon's team. And, of course, if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Call Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You can go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, or call the 888-8888, 888-8888, getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
All right, Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks in just a smidge. Thank you. I want to go quickly here so I have time to get through this. I've teased it all day. I want to make sure we get this done. You know, if you listen to the show, I don't like lists. I don't like the top 10. I don't like a coach's ranking. I don't like the top 10 biggest games of the month of September. You give me subjective stuff like that, I don't care. It's somebody's opinion. You have your opinions. I have my, whatever. Like, I'm not going to react to somebody's opinion, by and large. If you show me something objective, something data-driven, where I can maybe extrapolate something interesting, I can get behind. And CBS Sports released today what I thought was a pretty fascinating exercise here. They ranked college football's most experienced offenses. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this. You could say, okay, well, who has the most starts returning? Or which quarterbacks have thrown for the most yards? Or running backs have run for the most yards? And that is in there, but it's not the entirety of the list. For example, when they look at passing production, they look at yards, attempts, completions, touchdowns, and then based on those, rank them all to spit out the metric that it gives you passing production. On that list, LSU's 44th. That shouldn't be a great surprise because Sam Leavitt played about half the season last year. And if you look at the backups, well, obviously you bring in Husan Longstreet, who played in just 4 games, really only had significant action in 1 game against Montana. So all that to say, you shouldn't really rank very highly there. As far as passing efficiency, they look at completion percentage, yards per attempt, average yards per attempt, touchdown percentage, interception percentage, sack percentage. Again, this is like a deep dive into all of these metrics to spit out a number to tell you what is your passing efficiency number. Well, LSU was 27th in pass efficiency. And again, that's Sam Leavitt, who played half a season a year ago, and that's not even what LSU is, because none of the scholarship quarterbacks from last year are on the roster right now. So they do this for all of the different position groups. Like if you look at the running back productivity, the rushing production, where they look at yards attempts, yards per attempt, touchdown, explosive rushes, and then explosive rush percentage. Again, deep dive into the analytics, and LSU's running back rushing production ranks 26th. The offensive efficiency overall, I skipped an important one. I'm going to come back to it in a second. You'll understand why. The offensive efficiency, 19th. Offensive line, 24th. LSU's line last year was atrocious, but they're buoyed by the fact that you bring in Jordan Seaton, you bring in Alu Ba, you return Braylon Moore, who was good for you a year ago, and all of a sudden your outlook looks a little better. The one that's probably the most interesting, or maybe should be the most interesting from an LSU perspective, is that, like, if you're scrolling through all of this, what jumps off the page is the receiving production. So remember, I just told you passing was 44th, passing efficiency was 27th, rushing was 26th, offensive efficiency was 19th, offensive line 24th. So good, but nothing elite until you get to receiving production. Yards, receptions, yards per reception, touchdowns, explosive reception percentage. Texas Tech's number 1. Number 2, your Fighting Tigers of LSU. One of the storylines we've talked about so much this offseason with Lane Kiffin's offense has been the decision not to go after an elite level, like top tier receiver in the portal. Remember, this was Kiffin during spring talking about adding multiple big play receivers.
You know, we try to balance the room more. If you think of it as like, here's your cap number for a room, you know, instead of being really top heavy with 1 and 2 and then not having depth. I think when we've been our best, it's because we've had 4 to 5 to 6 receivers that can all play really well. And so that's what we're striving for here.
4 to 5 to 6 receivers that all play really well. And again, I know we've thrown this stat at you before, but a year ago at Ole Miss, they had 5 pass catchers that went over 600 receiving yards. LSU had 1, Barry and Brown. That was it. On the flip side, Lane generally finds 1 bell cow back, and then the second leading rusher on the team is the quarterback. There was only 1 season of his 6 at Ole Miss where they had a by committee approach at running back. So I think what's really clear when you look at history and then how they're building this roster is they went out and got a bunch of really productive receivers from other places, and they'll sort it out. And there'll be 4 to 6 that all get a bunch of targets and yards. Trey'Dez Green is certainly going to be in that mix as well. And then Harlem Berry is probably going to be their bell cow, gets 200 rushing attempts. And Dylan Jones is their most complete back, who's going to play a bunch as well because he can pass protect and catch the ball and he can run. So you're probably going to have Harlem Berry's leading rusher. Sam Leavitt's going to be your second leading rusher. Dylan Jones is going to be third. He's going to play a lot because he can block and pass protect and all that sort of stuff as well. And you're going to have 5 receivers who all have 600-plus yards. Probably no one goes over 1,000. And Trey'Dez Green is going to be this crazy X factor because of his freakish ability, the threat he is in the red zone, his yards per catch, all the mismatches he creates and tilts the field. And you can kind of see how it's all built. But very intentionally, when you look at these metrics, these very detailed metrics, how this offense is built, it tells you where the production has been And in Lane Kiffin's offense, it's very clear that's what you need, a deep roster of receivers that make this thing go, so you can't just commit a defensive back to one receiver to take away half the field or limit the offense because one guy was off that day. You have so many different options. And, of course, Tradez is going to be a huge part of this. By the way, Tradez had a camp this weekend, and Jacques Doucet did an interview with Tradez, who really sung Lane Kiffin's praises.
He's a great coach, a great leader for our team. Like, he's exactly what we've been missing there. So just ready to play for our coach. Now, he gives 110%, and we go give 120 for him.
And then on top of that as well, Sam Levitt, who was limited throughout spring. What about the chemistry and working with the new quarterback?
We throw almost every day. He always call me, text me, say, we're going to get some throws in. You got to have that chemistry with your quarterback. I got chemistry with all three of the quarterbacks. We always throw together. We got good chemistry. We just ready to put a show on for the state of Louisiana.
Love to hear that, because the one big concern that I have about this team, as I've verbalized, not having Levitt in spring, you saw what the offense isn't, or what it is without Sam Levitt. What will it look like with him? Well, a big part of that is the rapport and getting those reps with receivers and pass catchers. Good to know they're working on it now. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Flew home yesterday from Vegas. We had a layover in Dallas. I would like to give a big hat tip to Dallas Love Field, because as I was walking through the terminal and I went to go get a bottle of water, they had Evermore. How about that? Shout out. Shout out to you, Dallas Love Field Airport, for carrying Evermore. And by the way, Louisiana airports, why aren't you carrying Evermore? It's a Louisiana product. Come on, Louisiana airports. Get with it. EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Natural artesian water. Look, just because there's a square bottle with a flower on it from a tropical island on the other half of the world, that's spring water. No different than Evermore, which comes from a natural artesian well in Covington. Spring water, right from the source, and right here in Louisiana with national distribution. Evermore, EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. All right, y'all, time to break the show. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks. We're glad you're hanging out. Always love telling you about Relief Windows, title sponsor for our Monday shows all throughout the year. We'll grab our final break, come back and find out what we're betting on tonight. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Came home from Vegas, immediately just popped in the face by that humidity. You go out to Vegas and they're like, oh, it's a dry heat. Yeah, but 115 degrees, that's like when you open an oven and that hot air just hits you right in the face. That's what it's like being in Vegas. Here, it's like, when you wear a sweater outside in July is kind of what it feels, or June is what it feels like with the humidity. But the bottom line is neither's comfortable, and both are awful for your AC that sit outside and never get a break from that relentless heat throughout the summer months. So make sure you trust River City's 1 Hour Air to keep your AC running at peak efficiency throughout the warm weather months. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. You see the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. See them all over town. Give them a buzz at 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. Preseason AC tune-up or any system repair, mention the Moscona special at River City's 1 Hour Air.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't...
Remember our friends over at River Parish Contractors. They are hiring. They're looking for you. Welders, pipe fitters, tackers, crane operators. There's so many reasons to give our friends at River Parish Contractors a call. Maybe you don't think you're looking for a job until you know something better is out there, and that is River Parish Contractors. You want to work day shift? Cool. You want to work night shifts when it's cooler? Great. You can do that at River Parish Contractors. They got as much overtime as you want to work. A lot of places give you good hourly rate, but they don't want you to work overtime. Not at River Parish Contractors. They got it, and you can work as much of it as you want at River Parish Contractors. Great benefits, paid time off, of course, health care, 401k, all of it at River Parish Contractors, and you're home with your family every night because all of their work is local. Call Big Jake over at River Parish Contractors to find out more. rpcontractors.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Appreciate Brandon Holly and the gang as always. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. ReliefWindows.com. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What up, Matthew? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fan-freaking-tastic. Best day ever.
Very good, very good. Let's get right to the cards tonight. Let's start off at Omaha and the Chuck. Unders have gone 4-3 with the game going way over today. 12.5 is about as tall of a number that you're going to have. Now, the wind has been blowing out a little bit. It's not as much of a factor today. We're going to go with Georgia, Oklahoma under 12.5 at the College World Series. As far as the side is concerned, yes, of course, I think Georgia is going to win tonight. I think Georgia's going to win the whole thing, but laying 260, 270 against a team that is really, really hot. Keep in mind, Oklahoma went to Atlanta and beat Georgia Tech 2 in a row. It's something I can't get behind. So I can't lay that type of number. I can't lay 2.5 runs as well. Let's get to Major League Baseball. Houston hosting Detroit. This better pitchers for Houston this year is Tang. He's been on a little bit of a fade as of late. We're going to think that the trend will continue. Detroit has been playing better baseball yet. Plus money here. Not sure what it is now. It's plus 102.
Yep. Plus 104.
104. All right, we're going to go with the A's in Pittsburgh. Talking about launching pads up in Summerlin, the 6-game stand, man. You saw that the highest scoring game in baseball, Major League Baseball this year, between the Rockies and the A's. A's back home in Sacramento tonight. Ginn has been one of their better pitchers tonight. He is minus 122. Jared Jones is just 3 starts coming off the IL for Pittsburgh. He has pitched 4 innings, 5 innings, and 4 1/3. You know about that Pittsburgh bullpen. We're going to get into that bullpen tonight. Look for the A's to roll the Pirates tonight, minus 122. And then it's dangerous territory, bucking the Dodgers, especially in Chavez Ravine. But Eric Lauer is clearly their weakest starter. Martinez has been a bright spot for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay plus 153, and that will probably grow as we get closer to game time. We would take the Rays plus the money on the road against the Dodgers.
All right, 3 picks for the ADA tonight. Georgia, Oklahoma under 12.5 there at the Chuck, and then 3 plays in Major League Baseball, all on the money line. The Tigers, the A's, and the Rays. Where are you tomorrow?
We are at Mike Anderson's. Yeah, we're at Mike Anderson's. I'll get it straight. It's on Lee, just off of Nicholson.
Heard of it.
Come on by and see us.
I've heard of it. Been there a time. Been there a time or two. Hey, by the way, no World Cup action?
A lot, but and it's we got another upset in the making as well with Saudi Arabia with a 1-0 lead at half, and they were three-way, including the draw.
1 minute remaining.
They went off at Uruguay went off at minus 225. So massive draw earlier this day with Spain drawing against. And look, man, one of the biggest hits the books have taken across the board was with Knicks in game, but also Friday night with the U.S. men's national team. So, yeah, the bandwagon started in New York. It's like overflowing with the soccer team right now.
My Uber driver on Friday night in Vegas had a final score ticket on the U.S. against Paraguay, 4-1. Nailed the final score.
Would that pay like 30-1?
He got I think he bet. I think it was plus 1,800, something like that. It was
okay,
crazy.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah, it was
nice one.
Felt good for him. Thank you, Otter.
All right, thank you.
All
Good
right.
luck.
See you. Have a good night. All right, Muse Pauly, thanks. See y'all tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
From Brandon Landry and my friends that bring you Supper Club, their newest concept, Amigo Al's on Highway 30 in St. Gabriel. Got a chance to pop in last week. I'm going to tell y'all, Amigo Al's, put it on your list. Make sure you pop by. Listen, where they are on Nicholson, right, south of U Club, it's going to feed a lot of U Club South, Lexington, Harveston, that whole area. But also, maybe your kids are playing games at Traction or you're at Elite. Pop in for lunch or dinner one day, or just put Amigo Al's on your list and pick a day and go. I'm going to tell you, there's so many Mexican food places where you go, and it just sits on you so heavy. The thing that is so impressive, it's fresh, it's delicious. The margaritas are the best in town, where they use high-end tequila and real fruit juices, so you're not going to get all that sugary mess with a bad hangover. Check it out, y'all. It's Amigo Al's.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
The Tigers don't cut corners on the floor. Parish Construction and Roofing won't cut corners on your home either.
Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing.
ParishGroup.com.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our Lay of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.